Hello, hello, hello. It's another glorious day, my tea sippers, and you know what time it is. I hope you have all of your comforts together because it's time to dish tea. And you're dishing tea, darlings, with Big Meat.
Can't wait. It's time to dish tea with Big Meat. It's time to dish tea with Big Meat. It's time to dish tea with Big Meat. It's time to dish tea with Big Meat.
Darling.
Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello. Hello, 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 hello. Hello, hello. Hello, 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 hello. Hello, 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 hello. Hello, hello. Hello, 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 hello. Hello, hello. Hello, hello. Yeah. The things we do, honey, to keep you guys entertained, huh? Okay, wait a minute. I'm gonna move my little computer and then fell off the little stand a little bit. So hold on, let me put it back right. Okay, there we go. All right. So what's going on to all of my tea sippers, my crumpet dunkers, my tea brewers, my pot stirrers, and my tea leaf readers? What's your tea, honey? What's going on, honey? It's another glorious, glorious, glorious day. You know what time it is, honey. So I know you have all of your crumpets together, darling, because it's time to dish tea. And you are dishing tea, darlings. With Big Meat. What's up? All right. All right. Oh, I'm a little discombobulated. Just a little. I had to come in a half hour later today because I didn't want to try to rush it. But in the meantime, and in between time, child, I just got some disturbing news. A girlfriend of mine, she's been on the show. Y'all remember when we had Sadina come in with us a while back? And I call her Ruby. She calls me Pearl. Well, honey, her husband just passed today. And I just got the news. So we just got off the phone, maybe like, 15 minutes ago. And so, and her telling me what's going on and this, that, and the other. So I just need for you to keep the Colbert Green family up in your positive thoughts and just uplift them as they deal with what is happening and things of that nature, child. It is just, child, okay. It's just one of those times and one of those moments of things. So, like I said, I'm a little discombobulated, but we're going to get through this and carry it on because the word for the day is just going to be mortality, I believe. Okay. I think that's just going to be the word for the day because that has been in my spirit all day, and that has been like one of the words that I've been using today as far as us understand. I was telling someone earlier, their nephew, I'm looking for his nephew, right? And he said, oh, well, the child that went off to school and blah, 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 blah. And, Miss Thing is getting her life, honey. Okay. And I'm like, well, baby, that's youth. That's what youth does. We've been there, moved out of state, honey, and found the fountain of youth and getting their life, honey. And now, they're in that space of fearlessness, nothing is gonna hold me back. Nothing can stop me, I said, they're taking flight, and he said, well, this child is going just a little bit too high for my liking. I said, but that's what they do, honey, because they don't understand that, they don't have the experience to know what it is. Hell, right now they don't give a damn. I'm going up here and I'm gonna do this, because. And I said mortality is not an issue to them right now. You understand? And so because of that, I was talking with my good Judy, Bristol friend earlier, um, taking him to the airport, and we were talking about, understanding about life's choices and understanding mortality, because what has been happening is that folks around us have been dying off. Folks are leaving here. And when you're of a certain age, then all of a sudden we start to notice that, because it's folks in our generation, or folks, our heroes and, our parents' generation and carrying on, folks are leaving. And it's like, wow, okay. So now what do we do? What's at stake here? You know what I'm saying? And then you start to look at your life, and you look at what you've done, what did you accomplish? Are your children, are they set up, and this, that, and the other? Do I have life insurance? Do I don't? All of those things start to play in your head, and then it starts to bombard you. I know for me, I'm seeing all of my flaws. You know, I'm seeing all of my flaws, and they're like illuminating. You know, and versus me seeing all of my fabulousness. And see, when I was younger, I used to see all of my fabulousness, and folks had to say, "Bitch, and you got that wrong," and at that particular time, folks would say that, and they would say it like to like not, knock you down a peg or two. It was almost as if they were trying to say it to insult you, you know. And when we were younger, we didn't pay attention to it. You know what I'm saying? Now we got a little bit of experience up under our belt and carrying on. We done lived a little bit of something, you know. And so now, looking at it as I'm getting older, and I got an extra ache here, an extra pain here. Y'all know I talk a lot, and I keep saying that I need to get a grill, and I keep pointing that out so that I don't become embarrassed if anybody want to talk about that bitch ain't got no teeth and blah blah blah. So I try to be ahead of the game so that it doesn't become a weapon for me because of neglect and me not doing what I'm supposed to do, and also medicines and stuff that I've been taking, the shit that I've been on and carrying on have just got it to where shit a bitch need a grill. Okay, uppers and lowers, honey. More though the uppers, because the uppers are chair bad. If I showed you this shit, y'all would chair. Okay, and it is what it is. It is what it appears to be, and right now it's my truth. You know, and you can't run from it. Okay, I talk too much and I laugh too much. I'm almost got me, want to have my mouth open when I'm So I'm noticing that. I'm noticing this extra ache. I'm noticing this pain in my leg. I'm noticing pain in my side. Why my left foot drier than my right foot? You know. Um, but a lot of that comes into play right now because of what we're living in. And then look at where we are. We're in this pandemic, you know. Uh and I'm pessimistically optimistic, if that's ever such a thing. I know that's very oxymoronic, but what I'm saying is I'm optimistic, but I'm optimistic skeptically. Okay, um, because we've been led astray before, but I'm looking at what's going on. I'm not trusting this damn vaccine as of yet. They keep talking about we got new strands of this shit that's coming out, that the vaccine may or may not work, but you don't know because it's a new strand. Your test didn't test the new strand, damn it. Your test tested the strand that we know about. So we still have no data. You understand? And so now it's mind boggling. Yes, we're able to maneuver and we're getting around, but at the same time, honey, a lot of us are stifled. Okay, how many of us are at a place to where we're looking for the stimulus package to come through because we absolutely need it, but at the same time, how many of us, this is your first time ever having to deal with the government in this particular fashion? Okay, you don't know what it was to have to deal with the government when you had to go apply for food stamps, and that there was something that you had to do. You don't know what it is for the government when you're trying to look for medical insurance, because I don't have medical insurance right now. Okay. So because I don't have medical insurance, some of the shit that I need to go to the doctor for, I can't go to the doctor for. And then part of me, my vanity don't want to go down there to the hospital because right now I would be down there all motherfucking day. Okay, all mother. Why? Because when you go to indigent hospitals and carrying on, they're not about preventative care. It's all about emergency. So you would get bumped based on your priority. Okay. If I'm sitting up here saying that I got this pain in my side or in my leg, honey, listen, everything coming up in there trumping that because it's like, bitch, you could have waited to go to the clinic for that. But because I don't have insurance, honey, I would get bumped. So if I were to go right now, it's 9:41 Eastern Standard Time, PM. I will not probably see a doctor until 7 o'clock in the morning. If then. Okay, because I'll be sitting down there waiting for them to call me. Because the first 5, 6 hours is going to be for them to call me to triage me. Okay. Then I got to wait some more to go in to see the doctor. And then, we got to wait for the blood work to come back, whatever they're going to do. You know what I'm saying? So, for them to tell you, they'll write you a prescription. Now, you don't have insurance, and then they're going to send you over to the indigent pharmacy. That's another 2 hours. You got to wait for the prescription. Okay. And this, that, and that. So that there is time. And I know a lot of y'all will probably say, well, bitch, that's time. At least you can go get seen by a doctor. And the operative word that I said was my vanity. See, because I know vanity will stop me from doing all that shit because I don't feel like being bothered with all them goddamn people. I don't want to be down there with just dealing with what comes with that. You're sitting down there, the chairs are hard, you can't get up, you can't move, then you got to be down there in a mask because it's COVID, and et cetera, et cetera. You got to sit down here and explain yourself 16 times because this doctor gonna say this and this nurse gonna want to do this and this one gonna say this. I just don't feel the struggle of all that. You know what I'm saying? And so saying all of that, it's fucked up, but I know that's my option. And the thing of it is, and like right now, it's preventative. If I go right now, it would probably do me some good because I could get a little peel or something, boom. But I know that if I wait until later where it's critical, then what'll happen is if it's too critical, it'll probably do something that will be non-reversible. Because I know I'm dealing with a little bit of nerve damage in my leg. They told me this a while ago. Maybe I was 32, 33, I think at the time. And what is I wear my belt too tight, okay, around my waist, and it pinches my nerve. So now over the time, it has now, started to where my leg will get numb a little bit and carrying on. And lately what's been happening, my entire leg has been getting numb. It's been going all the way down to my feet. It used to just go from my hip to my knee. And so that there was that. But I'm saying all that to say these are the times that we're living in. You understand? And oftentimes we think about a lot of us either we get too morbid and think about our mortality all the time, and it's almost as if you waiting on death to come and just swoop you up, or we don't think about it enough and think that and forget that we got to have things in order. How many of y'all got life insurance? Because I swear, if I see one more goddamn GoFundMe account or somebody sitting up here saying, "Oh, we didn't have no money for this, that, and the other," and what bothers me, um, what bothers me is that folks will sit down here and you're gonna do what you want to do with your money. I'm not trying to be in your pocketbook, but at the same time, maybe I am. Because okay, let's take me. I'm not gonna say folks. Let me do me. But I have life insurance, so but I'm still do me. Y'all see on a little Wonder Woman, you know, I done went off and bought little t-shirts and shits, you know, and I do, the things that bring me a little joy and carrying on. Okay. Instead of going out making sure I'm taking care of business. You know what I'm saying? Um, most of us will sit down here, you get to, even before the stimulus checks came in, when you were working, okay? When you were working and carrying on, boom. Okay, nobody thought about, oh, I'm gonna get life insurance and care and things until they need it, you know, until they need it. And then all of a sudden, oh, they didn't have no, oh, we got to bury them and right. Then it becomes one of those kind of things. So we have to learn how to do better with prioritizing our stuff, getting our paperwork in order, your important paperwork. It's a tough conversation to have, but everybody's going to have final expenses one of these old days. Okay, mine ain't gonna be for another 85 years, but hell, at the way life is going, child, 85 years or so, you see how this shit does, honey. It'll swoop up in a minute. But that there is that. Okay. I'm gonna put up in here the link because y'all know this here. This is that I said what I said Wednesday. So Wednesday, Lord. I said what I said Sundays. I'm thinking don't come out of the bag Wednesdays. That's what I'm doing in my head. Okay. Um, so there you have it. That's the link. You guys go up in here. If you want to come on up in here and say something, we're going to put a time limit on. So you got one subject to talk about. Okay. I'm giving everybody one subject. You come up in here and talk about anything, but the rules are this. If you sit down here, and come out of the bag, honey, yeah, you're gonna get the axe because I'm not gonna tolerate foolishness up in here. And what I mean by foolishness is not to say that your opinions are wrong, but I don't want you coming up in here acting as if you don't know how to take criticism. And I don't want you coming up in here going way off into left field with conspiracy theories that mean absolutely nothing. Please don't come up in here talking about the goddamn spaceships and shit. Okay. And how I don't want to hear about the damn what is it? What is the five, the G5, the M, what is it? The Mega Five, the G, whatever this little new fangled M5 shit or whatever. The radiation with the phones. Where we at? The five shit. Okay. Um G5, thank you. Okay, the 5G. That's it. That's it. The 5G. Okay, y'all know what I'm talking about. Okay. I don't feel like getting into all of that because see, quiet as it's kept, that damn 5G shit is still confusing and carrying on. And I need somebody who's gonna come up in here. If you're gonna come talk about it, let's talk about it correctly. Talk about it with some sense and some knowledge and things of that nature. But please, I don't want to hear about the spaceships and I don't have the strength to entertain all that. So you can pass me with that conversation if you're coming up in here with that. Okay. But anything else, honey, whatever's on your mind, we can talk about. Okay. Uh, so be that as it may. Um, okay, I'm sitting up here. Nick just said she got homework to do. She didn't want to pop in and out, and then I started a half hour early. So Nick, if you listen, just go do your homework, girl. We good. You go do that, and if you pop in, you pop back in. But yeah, get that out the way because I don't want you to get behind and all of that. Okay, but I know you like I know you, honey. Something's gonna be said that you're gonna pop in here and not just in the comments. So I ain't worried about that. But to fill in the slot because Big Red is out and about. I'm hoping he's gonna be able to pop in tonight. But earlier we were at a birthday dinner. Shiro Hero, the car club that he and Miss Red Cupcake are in. I think Kawan is the president. I mean, well, one of the car club members, today is her birthday and her daughter's birthday. So we went to go have dinner at Kobe a hibachi steakhouse restaurant with the hibachi grill and all that. So that's the come I got my hat on the thing because our colors are red and white. I'm red and black rather. And I went to go have dinner with him, and then they went elsewhere. So he may be able to get in here tonight, but I'm not going to worry about that. Right now, I'm going to bring in our correspondents, honey. Okay, our correspondents, honey, from the Nighthawk Network, honey. My sister, honey. Jared with the Helena twist done came up in here, honey.
Ooh, well, all right. Let's get it together, honey.
Yeah, all the way from Detroit, honey. This here's the Cody comment. You know, hey, we comments together, baby. Okay. And also the creator of the Nighthawk Network, honey. This is the one and the only EP. This is the Buckster, honey. Eric Buckster came up in here with me.
The COO himself. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I got to get right up on you right off the top.
What does COO stand for? Chief Operating
Officer.
I know. I'm trying to be smart. I'm trying to go somewhere with this.
But no, we got to be serious for a minute. Mitch, my big brother. Okay, let me say a couple things. One.
Oh, here we go.
My man, we both in that club. I know what you're talking about. You know I'm a card carrying member. You know it. You know it.
You got the AAR.
So yeah, we wake up a little different than we did 10, 20 years ago. Yeah, grill messed up. You know, man, Jack too. Okay. These things is what they are, but you got to remember, my friend, we're not ordinary individuals. We superheroes, okay?
Say it now.
We have, we may not be the spirit of Wonder Woman and Thor like we would like to be, but it's in us, okay? So all these things that come to grip us and make us question our mortality and what have you, we are not going to succumb to them. We are not going to listen to that foolishness. We can do these great things that just seem so insurmountable at this point, but we can make them happen. Remember, I had a doctor tell me 5 years ago, if you do not change the way you live your life, you will no longer be here to live it.
Oh, well, all right.
5 years later, I am an AARP member, and I am better than I was. Many of those aches and pains that I had from working 16, 17 hours a day, doing 55, 60,000 steps, yeah, there was that. But in the end, I'm better and I'm getting better. During this pandemic, I am becoming a better version of myself every day. I am learning. I am creating. I done created a whole damn network, man. Well,
how about that? Okay,
sure. My big brother, of course. But that being said, things are possible if you believe and achieve. This will pass. As long as there's tomorrow to live, we must live it. Okay. So we go
ahead, preacher man. It's time for the offering, honey. It's time for the offering. I want my cup.
Second thing, yeah, you're absolutely right about us and the insurance and whatnot. If COVID-19 ain't taught us nothing, we got to do a better job taking care of ourselves and our finances. That being said, I'm done talking for the moment.
Oh, well, all right. He's done for the moment, honey. Oh.
For the moment.
You know, you got to sit down and take a breather every now and again, honey. You know, you got to sit back and, okay, whoa, wait a minute, hold on, let me regroup.
Yeah, but I do got to go there, but I'm gonna hold off on that there.
Okay, Sunday, dear, Sunday. Yeah, I know, Chad. I said Wednesday. Yeah, I know. We on Sunday, honey. Okay. Yeah. Absolutely. Insurance is an income replacement. Okay.
Well,
okay. Yeah.
That's a whole nother show.
Okay. Right. Okay. Okay. Yes, cocktail, honey. I haven't put any alcohol in here as of yet, but I am. Okay, I am.
Spruce up that libation.
Yeah, we're gonna upgrade it. You know, we're going to upgrade it and carry it on. I'm going up here. This is what I want to get to. Be honest. You scared they may amputate? No, I'm not scared of that at all.
Here he go.
No, that's not what this is at all. Because at this particular stage of the game, I am so far from amputation level. That's not what this is. What I said, basically, going to the doctor right now, what scares me of going to the doctor without having insurance is how they like to tack on all this shit.
Indeed.
When you don't have insurance, they treat you a certain way.
Yes,
Hello.
they do.
You know, they treat you a certain way
Mhm.
because everybody feels as though they're not going to get paid. And Quiet as has kept some of that shit. Y'all know we do it all the time. Send me a bill, and I take that bill and throw it right in the trash. Okay? Because I feel like, you know, at this particular stage of the game, what else was I supposed to do? You know, outside of going to the doctor. Now, yeah, are you supposed to get your money? Yes, I totally agree. At the same time, I've been in this long enough to know that y'all jack up shit. You know, hell, you're charging me for when I was in the hospital. Damn it, listen, How in the fuck you gonna charge me for a blanket, a pillowcase, and sheets? You charge me for it, and then you charge me for the laundry at the same motherfucking time. That means that when that shit is over, I'm supposed to take that with me because I just bought that shit.
That's the way I see it.
Okay.
The pill bottle, everything.
So they get over like a fat rat in the cheese factory.
Right.
You know? So there are moments and things to where, and then also, as a business, hospitals do get the government kickback. They get a subsidy for all that they could write off as a loss.
Indeed.
But see, not only that, what people don't realize, and I realize this, is that, and I try to tell my brothers and sisters, a lot of people don't realize, like, if you have insurance and you go to the doctor, you have a doctor's appointment, and you don't cancel it, they still fucking charge you.
That's right.
So they got extra money. So that's a bunch of bullshit.
That's right. Yeah. They sure do. And you know what? And lately, you know, within the last maybe 20 years or so, they've been telling you that's what they were going to do. But before they were telling you, they did it anyway. They just did it.
Right.
You know, they weren't telling you that if you missed your appointment, that they would charge you anyway. And that's if you missed it. Or, wait a minute, you had to miss it, or if you did not cancel it within their parameter window, you know, I'll say that you could cancel the damn appointment. So at this particular stage of the game, you know, medical care is what I don't like going down there and then you treating me. Not so much as, well, wait a minute. No, let me say that differently. I was going to say not so much as talking to me, but no. Talking to me like I'm a motherfucking homeless person without any sense, or because you done had a stressed out day and you just going to tell me any old thing. Okay? Did you keep telling me, you know, when we're in the waiting room and carrying on, you don't want us to go to sleep. You don't want this. You don't want that. Okay, wait a minute, honey. Some of these folks, they haven't eaten. So somebody will say, I'm hungry. Y'all don't even have, you know, if we in the emergency room, which more than likely that's where we are, you don't even give us the vending machines or let us go here. You got security always on us and shit. Then on top of it, I did this with my ex once. We were down at the hospital. But I had to tell him, I said, you can't come up here with the white boy shit, honey. Because I was dating the white guy at the time. And we were down here at Grady. And he down here, and I'm telling him, I said, sit still, honey, now. You know, he from lily white suburbs, child. You down here in the heart of the ghetto with all the children. And it's the late night hours, honey. It ain't like we daytime. We are midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning in the ER. Okay. So it's like we down here waiting, and he's like, what is going on? I said, honey, this is what I'm trying to tell you. This is gonna be one of those things. Well, you know, he's not understanding, and he's going, and I'm trying to calm him down. Well, then what ended up happening was there was 2 guys who ended up clocking our tea, right?
Oh, all right.
So when they clocked our tea, now they want the fat mouth. Okay. They want the fat mouth. And basically they were talking about him because he's a white guy, right? They did not know that we were together until I turned around and looked. I said that y'all got one more motherfucking time to say something. I said, no, I want you to. I said, I want now either one of y'all say something to this one, because this one is with me. Say it one more motherfucking time, and it's going down up in here. Oh, big dude is like that. Hell, motherfucking yeah, it's like that today, because I'm not in the motherfucking mood. Okay? Then it became, now they still saying that shit, but they whisper to each other. Yeah, you whisper. Because I'm not supposed, you have your thoughts, but I'm not supposed to be in the middle of that shit.
Correct.
Okay? So now we done finally got to the back, but we're still waiting to see the doctor. We just got to step closer to being seen. This child is laying out on the gurney, but what happened? There was somebody else on the gurney, and the guy, you know, he half out his mind and shit, and he talking. And MJ, being MJ, you know, he sit up here trying to you know, he's doing his shit. Well, again, not knowing that I'm with him, this guy wanted to step to him. Like, motherfucker, what? You know, what you say to me? So now all of the whiteness that this boy can muster up come out of him, this the Italian white boy, honey.
All
He
right.
start hollering security. Security? Security? I said, honey, you can't bump your gums and then holler security up in here.
Because they coming to
You
get you first.
Exactly. You can't bump your gums and then holler security. And so what it was, as he set up on the gurney, I then interceded. And I told my man, I said, bruh, this ain't nothing that you want right now. And he looked at me. I said, squash it, and it's all good. Okay. I said, just let it be. Oh, it's like that. I said, yeah, it's going to be like that. Just let it be, brother. And I'm talking calm like this.
Oh, yeah.
And now we in the back. You know, everybody's sick. Everybody moaning, groaning, you know, and Kato sleeping, trying to sleep. Just squash it, baby.
But see, you got to understand, Meech. You could talk very calmly, but 6'4", 375 plus pounds speaks volumes.
Yeah, and at that time I was what? I was like more 455 then, 460.
Yeah, this 5'10", 325, it say a lot too sometimes.
Okay.
Hold on, big man.
Right. Okay. Yeah, you know.
Right.
And then especially when you at that point and it reads in your face, nigga, I'm not this, you know what?
You don't want this smoke.
No, not today. Not today.
Nope.
Okay, all of us have been down here all goddamn day. You see these nurses, you know, what pisses me off is when I know how we all are on our jobs. You know, you try to make it as comfortable as possible. But when you're dealing with in a pace atmosphere, okay, where everything is up, I don't need to see nurses and stuff sitting around. And instead of you doing paperwork, bitch, y'all done took a little 10-minute break and y'all over here talking about this, and this. That ain't got nothing to do with getting these patients about this. I don't need to see that.
Right.
Okay, take that to the break room. That's what the break room is for. If you're not on the motherfucking floor, I don't know what you're doing. I could bitch on the complaint and say, well, damn, where's everybody at? But for you to be in my face, now it took a little 10-minute or 15-minute in my face to talk bullshit. No, that ruffles me the wrong way. Okay. So in dealing in these kind of situations, I don't like being treated, you know, and then you go down there, you're trying to talk to them, you talk intelligently, you know, and this, that, and the other, you know, and then they come off with the attitude. You try to tell them about your body. Listen, when you draw blood, honey, now sometimes if you go on this arm, you may think you hit the vein, honey, and it won't pull.
Right, that
okay,
part.
It won't pull.
Well, I know how to do it. Right.
No,
the way I do it. Okay.
And I'm telling you, listen, I'm trying to tell you, honey.
Right.
Okay. Now, sometimes my veins will collapse because, you know, I said, sometimes you may run into scar tissue because, honey, I've been poked and prodded. Okay. And what's the first thing they say? Oh, my, what's going on? I said, didn't I try to tell you?
Right.
Yeah, so that it won't shock you. But then I had to tell them, honey, I'm telling you now, you get one stick, maybe two if you come across scar tissue, because I told you there's scar tissue. After that, and I'm expecting a reasonable amount of pain. Now, bitch, if you hurt me, I'm hurting you back. Okay? I've told that to many of phlebotomists that cannot hurt me, and I'm hurting you back.
But see, my thing is, I don't understand why they think that we don't have a knowledge of our own goddamn body.
Because a lot of the times it seems as though, because they feel they went to school for it, you know, that they have the education behind it. Okay, you may have all the technical terms.
Right.
But honey, I've been asthmatic since I was 12. I was diagnosed at 12, honey. There's not a whole lot you can tell me about my body and how it works better than me, especially when you a new motherfucking doctor.
Right. And keep in mind, I'm not a medical professional, but I can't say that everybody's biochemical makeup is different. Every individual on planet Earth. So just because it works like that for 80 or 90% of most folks, there are those exceptions that you must understand.
But I think it just becomes frustrating because they don't listen. Because I've told this phlebotomist one time, she tried to be cute. You know how they try to comfort the children. I said, listen, baby. That was back in the day. I was like, listen, baby. First of all, you can't use a regular syringe on me. You have to use a butterfly needle. And if you use a butterfly needle, you have to go in careful because my veins are rolling. Oh, I've been doing this for 23 years. That bitch shot me 2 times. I said, girl, get the hell off my arm.
Right.
23 years and you can't find a vein, and I told you that my veins are rolling veins. You can get right next to my vein. That bitch a duck.
Right. You know what? I was told this by a phlebotomist about those butterflies, okay? Because, of course, most of us prefer those because they don't hurt a lot, okay? But also, hell, if the vein is real T90, okay, I don't need you with this goddamn big-ass 14-inch gauge needle going up in me, okay?
Hold on, Meech. You ain't just going to fly by that. Did you just use T90?
Yeah.
I ain't heard that since my grandma in the 80s, boy. That was her word. God rest your soul. Okay. That was her word.
So because of that, the girl was telling me, she said, I know y'all prefer those, and she told me, she said, I know y'all prefer the butterflies. She said, but those butterflies are hell on us. I said, explain it to me. She said, because they don't draw the blood like they ought to, and they don't draw fast. It's a slow draw. So we'll be in here all day trying to draw blood to make everybody comfortable, when we could go up in here and just pop it and be done. She said, now, to make everybody comfortable, we make adjustments. And it's not to say that we won't use butterflies. It's just that now this is where you get into the skill level of your phlebotomist. Because if they're skilled, then they know how to get in and get out. I said, did you know what? You're the first person to ever tell me something like that. So let me let you do your shit. You know? Because I was giving her the whole.
But then you also think you have people who've been in the business forever, and do they have people that are trained to use the damn butterfly needle?
That there is that, because I thought about that too. I was looking to go to school to be a CNA because I was doing right when I was going through all of my debauchery and ugliness and carrying on, after coming out of my surgeries and losing my job and all of that, I was what they called a sitter. And that's all you do. You're sitting in the room with a high-risk patient, okay, 12, 13 hours or whatever it is. You know, but then they wanted us to help them. Like if they had to go to the bathroom, we had to get up with them and do this and do that. That's CNA work.
Yeah.
You know? So it's like, oh, well, so then what ended up happening was now if I were to try to do it now, they wouldn't hire me because I'm not licensed. So now they're doing that to where they hire licensed CNA people, so that if they have to check for vitals and this and the other, they're able to do that without me having to wait for the girl to come in and do the temperature and all that kind of stuff. So it is something. But I thought about that and what it was to go for training and all of that. But then I'm too empathetic. See, I sense and I feel, and you know, being around all of that, child, it would drive me crazy emotionally.
Yeah.
It would drive me absolutely batty.
You become close to those patients, and some of them may transition while you sitting right there in the room with them.
Yeah. And because of that, that's what kept me from doing it.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I can't. Because I'm already a mess now, and I'm just coming up in here. When you walk in the hospital, how many of us, those of y'all who are empaths, and you walk somewhere and you can feel all this energy on you? you know, and all of a sudden you wonder how come you're heavy, you know, and that's what happens is because you done took on and absorbed all that's around you that's within this space. And hell, now you walking around and shit. Now you got to get a release because you got to take all that energy and send it somewhere because it can't rest with you.
Right.
And oftentimes I feel myself doing that. Child, no. I couldn't see myself being a nurse or whatever. I've been caring for this patient for umpteen days or whatever. Then they transition off, you know, because I could never see myself becoming desensitized to that.
No.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But there's so many people where that's part of the job.
Yeah.
You know, and it seems as though they don't care. And see, this is the flip side of that coin of trying to understand it from the nurse's standpoint. You know, y'all been here all day. You got nickel-slick motherfuckers coming in off the street trying to hustle you. You know, you know they ain't got no damn insurance. They give you a bogus card. You know, and now you doing all this paperwork in vain. The bosses are on you. Why did you know, I get it. You know, then you're mad because the system itself is fucking over the people. You can't tell them they're being fucked over, but you know what the hell is going on. You know, so by the time someone like one of us get there, they at a breaking point. You know, or at the point to where they done became so desensitized to where, hell, they done heard this story for maybe they done had 25 patients. And the first 22 were the same, you know, the same bullshit. Okay. So now they don't know where to turn it off at because patient 23 done came in. You know, name, what you here for, Chad?
Right. Just like that.
Okay.
Right.
Did you go to your doctor? You got insurance? You ain't got no insurance.
Oh, well, girl, we can't help you.
Okay, here, I'm gonna need you to fill this out. Go ahead over there and sit down over there. Bring that back up when you finish with it. Next. Okay. You know, it becomes all of that bullshit. And then, so now here I am, number 24.
Ooh.
Okay. And I'm like, hi, how are you? How can I help you?
Ooh, she did what? Oh, girl.
Right.
Ooh,
And so it becomes one of those, okay. Hi. My name is Demetrius Taylor. How can I help you?
Ooh. I would say, girl, give me your boyfriend's number. That's how you can start.
I'm here because this is what I'm experiencing. You know, I'm asthmatic, but I'm not having shortness of breath or whatever, but I got this pain shooting in my leg. Okay, where's your insurance card and your ID? I have it. Well, give it to me. Bitch, hold up. Now, you know what? Hold up.
Hello.
Because see, now you're about to aggravate me. I don't care. There's something about aggravating her. You're here to see the doctor, right? Okay, now we're going to stop. You know, we're going to start over, honey, because I understand you may be having a bad day. So I'm not going to take this personally right now. So what we're going to do, we're going to stop and we're going to start over. Hi, my name is Demetrius Taylor. Okay. And I'm here because I'm having this dullness and stuff going down the side of my leg. It's my left leg. And I need to see a doctor. Okay, sometimes we'll get a restart.
Right.
Every now and again, I would get that bitch that want a neck roll. You just said that, and then that's when it's on because you know, and depending on the mood that I'm in, okay, now you know what? Hold up, where in the fuck is your goddamn supervisor? Because what you're not gonna do is treat me like you just did Charlie over there because you saw him over here and because he smelled like piss, you think I'm him. No, bitch. No. That's what you're not going to do. And so we get into this whole big old thing. Or at the triage, okay?
Hello.
When you're being triaged, what you in here for? Okay? So now you tell them, listen, I got a pain in my side. I'm having headaches. I'm not shortness of breath, but I'm out of my asthma medication. I don't want to have an asthma attack. So you give them the list of what's wrong, but then when the doctors see you, they're going to take the one thing that's the major thing, and then move on.
Mm-hmm.
But I just said I needed medicine because I don't have my medicine. Okay, well, do you have a primary care doctor? That's why I'm here.
Right.
Okay, it becomes all of that. And child, no.
But see, in the end, you know how you resolve that? Bernie Sanders told us how. Universal health care. That way, everybody gets treated. And you don't have to treat nobody no different because everybody should get treated exactly the same because you're going to get paid just the same.
You know what? When I go to the hospital and they give me all that, you know what I'll say? And people call me crazy, but this is just me. Like that girl you had, I'm like, excuse me, baby, there's somebody else that can work this desk for you because this is not working.
Yeah, I've done that before. Right, I've done that too.
I've had damn nurses come in my room. Oh no, girl, I can't use you. Can you send me another nurse? Because I'm not going to willingly sit there and just allow you to treat me any kind of way you want to because you had a bad day. That's your job. It ain't my fault you had a bad day.
Right. And keep in mind, when you get into that line of work, understand what you're getting into. You're dealing with people that is sick. Whether they are sick for real or if they feel like they sick, what have you, they sick. They're going to react a certain way. It's just like me working in the restaurant business. I know when people are hungry, they act different.
Ooh,
hungry for what? Hungry for what?
Hungry, just hungry, honey.
Hungry, period.
Okay,
hungry hippo.
Different when I get hungry, honey. Oh,
okay, boo.
Okay. So yes, honey, yes. Let me go to some of these comments because I'm trying to. A lot of people are losing loved ones. I myself lost my stepfather in November. Oh my. Okay.
Praying for you. That's my daughter. That was your niece. Hey, Tony.
Yeah. Okay. They don't give a damn. Okay. Hey. Hello, sissy. Hi. Okay. Absolutely generational wealth and passive income. Okay. Okay, when today starts, it has already passed. Tomorrow may come or not come. Well, how about that one? That's cute. That there was cute, honey.
That's cute.
I feel you, mean. Okay. Okay, dig that, honey. Okay. What is this? There are 6 new strains that's all that I know. 6?
No.
I only know 3.
No, there's more than 6. It's like 11 total.
Really? I only know 3 new ones.
Yeah, me too. I'm lost in the South
African strain,
South Africa, and the
Brazilian strain. It's a new one in Ohio. It's a new one in Minnesota. It's 2 new ones in California. It's a new one in New Zealand. Oh yeah, they popping this everywhere. Y'all know y'all call me the COVID person for a reason. I keeps up with these things.
Lord, we have to keep praying because you don't know what to believe. Okay. Okay, that's true. Okay. I'm glad to be far enough on the list that I might be able to find out if the vaccine has any bad side effects, thereby making a more informed decision to take it or not. Well, you know what? Now, because I'm asthmatic and considered to be on high risk, they will want me to be up there at the top. But right now they're doing senior citizens and all that. But that's the approach that I'm taking. I'm taking that approach on my own because right now we have the information and the data that they're using to say, oh, this is fair. It was only in the clinical trials.
Right.
And that's cute. But we are long term. Okay, like we do with any other thing, because they rushed it. And then here's the thing, them rushing it, and then you got so many companies trying to come out with a duplicate vaccine.
Right.
Okay.
Right now it's 171 different countries across the world working on COVID-19 vaccine.
Okay, and the question becomes, who are they? Are the scientists together saying, okay, Moderna came out with theirs first, right? So did Johnson & Johnson and Pfizer and all these other children say, girl, let me look what you did. And then they go over here and did they try to tweak it or whatever to say, okay, this is ours. So instead of using HOH, we use an HHO. Okay. And say this is our version of it or whatever. How is it that this one made it 2 shots and this one only made it 1 shot?
And how come it's like, okay, the Moderna is this much, but the Pfizer is that much and whatnot, and now they saying because of some of these new strains, we might have to go on and get 3 shots instead of 2. And it's too much not knowing.
Right. Not knowing.
As I often say on my show, this is the greatest experiment in the history of the world.
Hello.
Because we in essence are the third phase of the trial.
And I'm gonna tell you something, honey, and this is why this is much worse than what we did with HIV. Because with HIV/AIDS, when that came and became the pandemic that it is, and it still is, it was targeted because it was sexually transmitted. And a lot of folks felt like, because I'm not fucking you, I can't get it. It was easy to say I could be abstinent or whatever, you know? So we had a way out. Folks were scared. When folks had it or whatever, I could isolate myself from you, you know, and all the ugliness, the real ugliness that how they treated folks when this shit first started. Okay, they separated your dishes, so they didn't want you touching your dishes.
Yeah.
It was crazy. When y'all saw how they did with COVID, when the kids was first dying and carrying on, how they put those bodies in the freezer. Okay, with HIV/AIDS, no, they didn't put them in freezers, honey. They put them in ditches. They were burning bodies.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
yeah, because you gotta realize when that first came out, funeral homes wouldn't even take people.
Wouldn't even take them,
right, at all.
Okay, so, and I'm saying this because we understand the ugliness of it. Because it wasn't like I'm giving all this history of it because I don't want my next statement. I don't want y'all to think that I'm being cavalier in this. Okay, because HIV was ugly. But what happened with COVID, because this thing done came, there is no, it's separating this, that, and the other. Because we fucked that up when they said, black folks don't get it. Remember when this person, they said black folks don't get it, now we the ones that supposedly the worst ones to be infected by it or whatever.
Although the African continent is the one that has the fewest amount of among the major continents.
Right. So we're disproportionately, yes, but at the same time, I still want to look at those numbers because how is that when we're only 13% of the population?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Here in this country, we're 13% of the population, but yet,
right?
I'm trying to make that math make sense to me because it's still not functioning in my head just yet. But as far as treatment and stuff is concerned, well, we already know why that is because you don't want to come down here to the ghettos and carry on and to the hood and to the whatevers. Okay, you don't want to come down here. We got inadequate doctors and hospitals and shit already. Okay, you talking about trying to treat something, but when you got something that has no respect of persons, that now y'all saying it's airborne and a bitch can catch it through her eyes. Okay, if I'm close enough to you or whatever, your sinus ducts or your tear ducts or your mucous membranes and stuff in your eyes is a way for this shit to be transmitted, which is why now if you see everybody now with the face shields and carrying on, that's why.
And then of course the more major thing that I always talk about on my show, we still ain't did enough tests to determine if you can get it more than once.
More than once. So because of that, right now, this thing here is possibly the worst experiment. And everybody has become crash test dummies for it.
But you know the thing that gets me is I still ask myself the question, since this is fresh, how knowledgeable are these doctors on COVID?
Well, if you the ones that's honest with you, they honestly tell you they still learning about it.
Right.
The Guptas and the Dr. Fauci's of the world, they tell you straight up, it's still a lot we don't know about this thing. And if they've been doing this for 30 years, I don't know.
And it's unfolding, and because it's unfolding, that means all of the data has to go into the history. It has to go into the history so that y'all know how many of y'all have ever read that big old piece of paper that come in your prescriptions? Huh?
Yeah. Fine.
Have y'all ever read that shit?
Yeah.
When they give you your prescription and they give now the one that come from the pharmacy that's stapled onto the paper, okay, onto the bag. Then like I have like when I get my asthma medicine in the box, okay. When you open up the box, there's still that piece of paper up in there that's tucked and folded. They got all this shit.
Right, with the real small letters.
It tell you what the hell this medicine is, what the study was. It gives you the chemical compound of it, and et cetera, et cetera. Have y'all read that? I've not. Now I'm gonna be totally honest. I've not read the entire thing because it started to get too technical at some point.
Yeah, of course.
I'm like, oh shit. But I see the chemistry. I hated chemistry, but I did very well with it. Okay. So you see the formula, okay? What it is to make it. Okay, you got the little lines, you got the C, H212, you know, all that.
And I know that's a toxin, that's this, that's that.
Right.
Shout out Miss Jalili.
Okay.
Thank you, Miss Jalili.
Okay.
Right.
So we got all that. Then you have, you know, it tells you this, it tells you this. Then it tells you, I always go to the side effects. And they always say possible side effects.
Right.
Okay. Now, you may not experience all of these, but these are the side effects that through the clinical trials have been associated with this medicine. Okay. So this is why they would tell you the loss of appetite or chills or night sweats. So they would give you this whole big ass list of possible side effects. Okay. Then it'll say on some of them, there may be more. Because this medicine is going to affect everybody differently.
Right. And it says other possible side effects.
Right.
Here's the thing that they never tell you, though. They have recorded data as to how many people had each side effect. If you knew that, would that change your decision on whether or not you would take said medication?
How about that? Now, see, you're going to that nurse that did that. Oh, when she started reading that damn thing. Oh, when she read that from the report that they had to send in to the CDC,
right,
to get that emergency clearance to run that shit.
Yeah,
and they got to tell me, baby. I said, oh, okay, here we go. Here we go. So, child, wait a minute. Who's that? That was Lanier. Yeah, this is why I'm taking that same mentality with it. I get a COVID test every month. Everywhere that they got it free, honey. Once a month, I'm going to get a COVID test because I'm back at the donut factory and carrying on. I have to make sure that I'm clear, you know, and that's for my own sanity and carrying on, you know. And even though I'm not in a bubble anymore, because there were certain people I will only allow in my space, because we all hang, you know, we all in the same circles, you know, me, Red, Aunt Nikki, you know, her daughter, because we the crew, you know. We keep that bubble, and then we up on each other as far as our health and stuff. How you feeling? Right. We got hand sanitizer. We keep everything together. But then now that I'm going back to the donut factory, I'm out and about. I'm at the gas station. Okay. Now, true enough, that's outside. But nonetheless, I don't know how often they come and wipe down them damn the do-I-did-is.
Right. The gas tank.
If anything, you know. Of course, we at the grocery store. Then, you know, now I feel well, hell, I got my mask. I'm going to run over here. Let me run over here, you know, and carry on trying to keep myself afloat, to do everyday stuff. You know, I got to run down here to City Hall. I got to run over here for this. And then, you know, well, hell, I want to treat myself. Let me go get a little burger or something, you know, a piece of burger, you know, or whatever the case may be. So, you know, we're trying to be as active as possible. You know, but yet we still have to do our due diligence. So I take a COVID test every month. Okay. And then, hell, Haji was with me with one. I never got those results back. See, that's the other thing. You sit up there waiting on results, and the results never came back, which prompts me to take another one, because I'm like, well, shit, the last one didn't come back. Let me take this one. So I got these.
Right, because, you know, just like they got that take-home one that you're supposed to be able to do now, just like they're making the vaccine free, they should start making them free too, flat out.
But here's the thing: they tell us free because this goes back to with the HIV, and they wanted everybody to be on PrEP. Okay, and they got to pushing that goddamn PrEP, and pushing that PrEP, and pushing that PrEP, and pushing that PrEP. Oh, no, I did not say that. You see this? So you know what these phones? I didn't say nothing to you, Google.
Too smart for your own good. And he ain't saying nothing to you either. What the?
Right.
Girl, you better stop it. I'm not playing with you.
For
okay.
real?
So when we sit down and look at all of this and go through all of that, it has us into a space of, oh my God. Yeah. You know, what do we do? And then to keep yourself from being paranoid, then we go into survival mode. Let me do what the fuck it is I know to do for me.
Right.
Okay. I know what y'all said, but I know what works for me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Let me do this and carry it on. And this here, and let me be clear. This here is in complete support. The way how I just said that. The way how I said that is in complete support of how the insurrectionists are tackling the world. Okay? But I want y'all to hear my meaning, because those motherfuckers are doing it in arbitration. Because they're doing it to say, you can't tell me what to do. Those who don't wear the mask and carry on, they're not saying that's what's worked best for me. They're doing it because they're telling me, you can't tell me what the hell to do. I'm not going to wear the mask because I don't feel like wearing no mask. Well, you can't get no service up in here. What the fuck you mean I can't get no service up in here? Don't mind. See, they go there. That's being an arbitration. You're not doing what's best for you.
Right.
Okay. You're being adversarial. So in all of that, we have to stick to what works best. And then, you know, we have to be very limited in everything. Child, what did I tell y'all before? When this shit first started, this here reminds me of the Sandra Bullock scene with Sylvester Stallone and Demolition Man. When she said, you want to have sex? And he said, oh, hell yeah. She went to go get those virtual glasses.
Right.
Okay. And he was like, what the fuck is this? And she said in that scene, oh, you talking about human contact? You know, with human contact, you know, it was started.
That was outlawed in such a
It was outlawed.
Right.
Because it was this human contact created all these diseases and blah, 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 blah.
Right.
So in order for us to not, you know, do this, we have to outlaw that, blah, blah. And that's the first thing that came to mind when they started telling us to shelter in place. We can't do this. We can't do this. We can't do this. I'm like, ooh, wait.
But see, one thing that a lot of people don't notice about Miss PrEP is, you know, I love knowledge, but a lot of people aren't realizing that now Truvada, which they use for PrEP, is one of the 5 HIV medicines that they're trying to take off the market because it causes kidney problems. It's Truvada, it's Complera, or I can give you the whole list of them. But this thing is known to cause kidney problems in people, but you're using this shit for PrEP.
Right. So, again, making educated decisions versus foolish or scared choices.
Right. Yeah. I mean, so bottom line, like you saying, at this point, you know, because I found out I can go through a couple loopholes and go get the vaccine right now, but at this point, I'm like, your turn. Go ahead. I'll wait. Go ahead.
My thing is right now is some of the ailments that I have. I haven't heard of them using those people.
Right. How about that?
And therefore, that's going to make me step back because look, I got asthma, I got this, I got that. So my thing is, being a consumer, I need to know, did you test these people and how did it affect them?
Right.
Especially because, you know, most, not all, but a lot of African Americans deal with hypertension. How does it affect those people who take your damn shot?
Diabetes.
Exactly. And then remember, these things are being found to be 94 to 90 to 72% with the Johnson & Johnson. Okay, out of the ones where it wasn't affected at 28%, how many of them people look like me?
Right.
That's what I know.
Right.
How would it possibly affect somebody who may be taking mental health meds?
Boom. Okay.
Because you know, like I say, like 25,000 people for us for phase 3 of a trial. Maybe 10 of those people take those medications, and maybe out of 10, if 8 of them was part of that part that it wasn't effective, that's something I need to know.
Okay. There are several hospitals in Baltimore alone where you can have one foot in the grave and the other about to slip in, and you could be waiting in the ER for 6 to 12, 18 hours.
No, I'm not doing that.
Receiving hospital, suicide grace. Shall I go on?
Okay, we'll say suicide grace, honey. I'm trying to get it. They playing fucking games. Well, you trying to get the vaccine, Tannis? Okay. You have to perform in the ERs in Baltimore to get seen early. I'm talking Oscar performances. Ooh, child. Okay. There are hospitals, if you don't have insurance, won't even be able to be seen. Okay.
Even though that's the law, it's true.
Yes, it is. Because if you go in the hospital, they have the oath right in every damn waiting room. We are required to see you whether or not you have insurance or not.
Right, because it's required for them to put that off in the office like that.
Right.
So you know.
Okay.
But people don't know that, so they just sit there and like, look, girl, let me tell you something. I know when I went to the hospital because it was my doctor said it was the freakiest thing she ever saw. I had 2 blood clots, one in each leg in the exact same damn place in each individual legs.
Okay.
My doctor said, this is weird. I was like that. And I don't like hospitals. She said, we're going to have to keep me. I ain't going to lie. I cried like a bitch, honey, because I do not like hospitals because I always have to end up letting somebody have it. You know you sick as a dog and somebody try your patient. You're like, now look, bitch, I'm not that sick.
Okay, right, that part.
Yes.
Okay, wait a minute, hold on. I went too far down, trying to get to all the.
How many times have you done that in your life?
Watch out now.
Oh, by the way, I like that product placement, honey. That shirt is cute, honey. That shirt is giving me.
Oh, you love that? Okay,
you're killing it tonight, bro.
Yes, you are, honey.
The hat, the whole.
Okay. Okay, right. Okay. Okay, hold on. I'm trying to get to where the comments are. Okay, here we go. Okay. You need to say the places to treat you good because you have insurance. Take your tail to Emory. They have a nonprofit that covers people with no insurance. Okay. No, I said what I said. I'm talking about people, for those who don't have insurance and carry it on. And those who haven't, see, here's the thing. When you have insurance, they still treat you kind of funky until they clear your card. You know what they ask you for your insurance card?
Mm-hmm.
They want to make sure that you're still current.
Right.
Okay. So you get somebody that may get a little funky with you until that card clears. If the card don't clear, then all of a sudden, sometimes the attitude will change. Now they may be a little nicer than previous folks. They're coming in there that's out of pocket.
Right.
Okay. And then let me do this. There are those who will say, oh, I pay out of pocket versus the saying I don't have insurance. That's 2 different things. Those are 2 separate statements. Because those who say, no, I pay out of pocket, they know what they're coming in there for. They know that they telling you I'm paying.
Right.
Those who say I don't have insurance, those are the ones that get fucked up ass treatment.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And then, of course, it's levels to the shit because I said people with no insurance, they get crap. It's the Obamacare people, they only going to get so much. Then the people that's paying the full coverage, where you getting your money and you ain't got to do as much paperwork, them they take care of.
And then even in this day and time in 2021, you still have some people who will treat you differently when you go in a hospital and you tell them that you're fucking HIV positive in 2020 fucking
Yeah, that's true.
Who that?
And the towels and the washcloth, they will definitely charge you if you don't get a 24-hour notice of cancellation. Okay, yes, I do. And how we found, my mother found this out. I was still in my teens, and they had sent her an itemized bill, and it'll say this is not a bill,
right?
And they had on there everything itemized,
even the damn aspirin,
and
the Tylenol,
every pill, everything, I said, child, wait a minute. Okay, I don't get charged for that. I ain't got it. I ain't got it. That's that. Diabetes clinic says, okay, right.
No.
Diabetes said that I owe them $700.
This is what they sent. All this was the bill. All this in here was the bill, the itemized bill.
Wow.
The medications. How many applications of the medication? Yes. The actual bill itself.
If you don't quit playing. Right. Right.
It was literally the bill. I'm sitting here reading this like,
if you don't quit motherfucking playing.
I swear the Obama book wasn't as big as this.
Ooh.
The $86,000 bill. That was
first and foremost, it's a damn shame that healthcare is a business. Whether you live or die, it's a damn commodity. What the fuck? And I hate saying it, but it's a huge negative of capitalist white culture monetizing any and everything possible. Well, honey, but you know what? That there is the nature of capitalism gone bad.
Yeah.
See, one of the things about capitalism is this, and I don't mind it when it's used for good. And what do I mean by that?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody here that's on this side of creation is supposed to have the ability to take care of themselves, to make money, to do what they need to do to sustain themselves. Okay.
Right.
Capitalism is the ability to make money.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. In its simplest terms. Okay. An exchange of goods and services for a coin.
Mm.
Okay. And then you build on it. All right. But what happens is that those who come in, this is one thing about business that I can't stand, because business is very, 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 very cutthroat and ruthless.
Indeed.
Because when you start dealing with mergers and acquisitions, those who come in with a mergers and acquisitions type of mentality in business, then that means that I'm doing everything I need to do to be number one. I'm going to take out the competition.
Right.
I don't want anybody else up here but me.
Right. And even though it's supposed to be strict laws about monopolies here in
America,
the Amazons and the Facebooks of the world that buys Instagram and all their competition, so that they making 4 times more money than anybody else.
Right. And so what happens, everything becomes a commodity, because if they can make a coin off of it, they will, and then charge everybody for it. Remember the show 3 shows ago when we were talking about how everything is a goddamn sport?
Right.
You turn it, and why is it a sport? Because it makes money.
Right. Yeah. Right.
Okay, because you can make a coin off of it, child. Who in the hell knew that skateboarding was going to be a goddamn sport?
An Olympic sport.
And make the type of money that it does.
Right.
Skateboarding is a billion-dollar industry.
Who knew that playing a goddamn PlayStation 3 or 4, these goddamn, was going to become a goddamn sport?
And not just a sport, a career.
A goddamn career. Playing video games is a career.
I was watching one of the interviews. I was like, "You make how much money to play Madden?"
Yeah.
Who would ever thought that these guys riding their little motocross bicycles would turn into $1 billion fucking sport?
Exactly.
Right.
So
I'm gonna tell you a little thing that a lot of people don't notice. But if you notice,
wait a minute. No, come on.
See,
you're gonna unfreeze, honey. You're gonna unfreeze, honey. Did they freeze off?
Stop.
Oh, Shay. Do it again. Say it again, because girl, that froze you. You was all the way froze.
Marco, what you were saying.
Well, you know, a lot of those new multi-billion-dollar sports is not a lot of us in them.
Right.
Not in skateboarding, not in BMX riding, not in snowboarding, not in,
Okay.
Right.
Now what I need to be an Olympic sport is how to pull a date. That needs to be an Olympic sport, and it needs to be timed.
Okay.
I thought you were a big red for a minute.
So in all of this, it's the negative monetizing and carrying on, because see, now I go back to Mr. Man, who was trying to charge $789 or whatever that was per pill for HIV medicine, that white boy.
Oh yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah, I remember that.
And you talking about a pill. And you giving these folks a month's supply. So you talking about you getting at least 30 pills. So you do the math.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, $24,000 for a damn bottle of pills.
Right.
Okay.
And trying to find out the cost of making that pill wasn't even $79.
Right. Right.
But
It
the
was
gag
pennies.
is the new thing. I don't know if y'all have it in your area, but the gag is in my area now. Now you have young dudes riding around buying your HIV meds. $150 to $200 a bottle, bitch. I know all about it. Okay.
Stop.
Yes.
Wow.
Seriously.
Really?
And a lot of them will send them to other countries. But yeah, I got a guy who calls me regularly. You got anything? No, baby.
Wow.
And the sad thing about it is these people are even on social media dating sites. They put on there, I buy HIV meds.
On the site?
Yes.
Hell.
Is that the hustle shit? I knew about the pain pills and shit.
Oh no.
I didn't know about the meds.
Oh yes, baby. They buy them with the quickness.
I know about the little blue pills, but I didn't know they're selling them.
Oh no. They buying Truvada, they buying Complera, they buying whatever you got, they'll buy.
Wow.
Girl, stop playing. Ooh.
And they'll give you $100 per 30 pills.
Really? Child, okay.
But
they say
I need mine, honey. I need mine. Sorry, I can't help you.
They say that it's better to be pissed off than pissed on, honey. Okay, well, you know what? Some folks play like that, honey.
I know, girl. Don't piss on my leg and tell me it's rain, bitch.
Okay, right. You better not. Okay. Oh, wait a minute. What'd you say, P? I didn't mean, because they think we aren't intelligent people. Of course.
Right.
Okay, I hate that. And they're moving the needle around, trying to find the vein, hurting the shit out of you. Fuck that shit. Yeah, I can't stand that either. But they got you in here. You can't move your arm and can't over. They jabbing the shit out of
you.
Right.
I'm like, bitch.
Tell them to get the fuck off your dick. Okay, she would have gotten red because evidently she wasn't skilled. Okay. Nurses get a little bit happy when they see my veins. Really? Oh, because yes, honey. Because you probably got those ones that just jump right out at you. Okay.
Honey, my veins hide like I was hiding 30 years of my life.
Hey, cuz. Okay. I did the sitting job with Alzheimer's and dementia patients and the psychiatric. Ooh, okay. Let's see, I am an empath. I was in court and started to cry. It was so bad that the judge asked me, was I all right? Sometimes when I feel everything in the room, it's overwhelming. Honey, yes. Yes, honey, because you can, especially when you're feeling their pain, their sorrow, you know, it just becomes a little bit that way. I realized that I was a bit of an empath years ago. It did hell on me pre-COVID on the New York NYC subway trains when a teeny argument started, and the more intense it got, the more I felt consumed by it. Child, let me tell you something. When I lived in New York, this is when my spiritual gifts were starting to heighten, because my New York days was me and God communing, and I had to understand who God was or my belief in God as an adult. It wasn't grandmama, it wasn't mama, it wasn't my aunties and telling me who God is. This was me and God and my life, my journey, my experiences, and my gifts started to open. And do you know, when I was able to hear in the spirit what I heard, you could hear folks' thoughts. And I'm sitting up there hearing this. I heard somebody that I heard an argument, you know, in this, not that they were talking, but you heard it in their head. This one was arguing. This one got mad because they couldn't find the right pair of pants. This one was going to shoot somebody. This one was going to, and I had to sit down and to learn how to turn it off, because, child, New York is a big ass place. Yeah. I was working at 34th and Broadway, honey, which it used to be called Herald Square. Now it's an apartment complex or some kind of condos there now. But that particular child, I had to learn how to cut it off because it became so much. And then, of course, you know, dealing with the homelessness stuff down there, child, when you get into it and get engulfed in it, child, it becomes overwhelming, because hell, I was bleeding heart Sally. And the Mrs. Fields cookies that used to be in there, they keep telling folks that they never threw cookies away, and that was a lie. What they did was cookies that were already cooked or whatever that they didn't sell, they were put in the freezer. Okay. And after so long of them being in the freezer, they would throw those cookies out.
Mm-hmm.
They were supposed to have been donating them to the shelters or whatever, but they were throwing those cookies away.
Random sidebar. You know, I used to work at Fairlane, and then right over there, they had the Cinnabon. They would throw them damn Cinnabons away. I mean, boxes and boxes. Thank God we got the hookup over there. Be like, y'all about to throw them away? I'll throw them away for you.
Right.
But you know
what? I had a whole nother side hustle for about a couple months.
See?
Here in Maryland, we have the Naval Academy. So you think of all the midshipmen, you think of all the food they eat, the shrimp, the this, the that. Trust me, whatever don't get eaten, get thrown right in the damn trash. And we talk about pound. And then another thing we got to think about, what you talk about one other time, Meech, we have this Sioux mentality. You can't even be a good Samaritan and give people stuff on the street, because if they holler, I got sick, then you
exactly. And that is how we have become a wasteful society, number one. And then number two, how we have become so jaded because the crafty ass people find a loophole to get paid. Again, capitalism gone wrong, on the negative end of capitalism, because we have allowed for big business. You see it all the time. Business is cutthroat, because they'll tell you in a minute, oh, honey, this is all about business. Honey, this ain't got nothing to do with you. This is business, because I got to get paid.
Right.
Okay. And this is what, when capitalism is in, is in the hands of evil, because this is why a lot of places have stopped donating food for that reason.
Right.
Just for that reason. I know the old donut factory used to work around the corner here at the Western Atlanta Airport. And this is how I end up gaining. The first 6 months of me living here in Atlanta, I gained 120 pounds. You hear me? How? Because in our employee cafeteria, they cooked all this stuff for the employees. And at the end of the day, when they would close the cafeteria, all that shit went in the trash. And I mean, straight in the trash. It wasn't like they boxed it up. They took the chicken, the pan of chicken, it went into the trash bag. They had all that gunky shit in the, that was already in there, the soda, and you could eat that shit. It wasn't like you could pick through the trash or whatever. It went in the trash. And my nerve and I know that y'all know I'm crazy anyway, right?
Yeah.
But this is how my mind went. My mind clicked, like, if I wanted to consume as much of it because that was less that was going in the trash. Okay.
Right.
Now, it didn't hurt nobody but me, because I gained 120 pounds in 6 months. Okay. In 6 months. Okay. So, and I kept asking them, and then they wouldn't let us take it home. They cooked it for us.
Right.
They wouldn't let us take it home, and we were paying for it. And because they would take $2, they would take $2 a day out of our check. Okay.
Whether you ate or not.
Whether you ate or not, they were taking it out that damn check. Okay. And which was unfair to us, because when I started working overnights, we didn't get the luxury of the cafeteria.
Right.
Okay. That we could go through, because it was such an abundance. Right. I could go back and pick and this and another. It was like when I got off in the morning, I could get breakfast, but that was only one breakfast,
Right.
It wasn't like I had the choice of being on the buffet and carrying on. So I thought that was a little that way, but I'm a foodie, so of course I'm thinking like a fat folks. Of course. But there was my mindset of not to put it in the trash. And I asked them, why wouldn't we able to do that? And we were told we had 2 different lawsuits that the hotel lost. The hotel lost because they donated food, and somebody had claimed they got sick, and they sued the hotel, and they had 2 different laws, and the hotel lost both times. So after that second one, they said, fuck it, we're not giving shit. So all that stuff was going in the trash. in the trash. The macaroni and, oh God, that macaroni and cheese, the damn collard greens, whatever it was going in the trash.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God. And so when we talk about, you know, the ways of the world and things, this is what we have to continue and deal with, because, child, this is what it is. Even at the current donut factory, honey. Well, now that we're in COVID, you know, we can't do anything. But they wouldn't let us bring the stuff home. Right. You know, they wouldn't let us bring it home.
Yeah, please. Okay. Otherwise, you will never get caught up.
Right. Oh, they won. Tom did it again. Okay, they won.
They spanked them like they was doing S&M. They spanked this
shit out.
Oh, well, good for him, honey.
Tom Brady.
I had a guy was paralyzed, and I had to put my finger up his butt to make him poop. I hated that job, and I quit on the third day. That job was so disgusting. And see, again, now going back to the attitude of understanding the nurses. You know, so you had to do that kind of work, okay? You got to sit down here, and now you got to care for him. They're having a hard time, and this, that, and the other. Oh my goodness! And then after dealing with something like that, you got to deal with your own feelings of it. I got to put my hand up this man's ass, you know, and carrying on. And then so now you got to get yourself together. I know this is part of the job, but damn.
I'm like, honey, I can't stick my finger up there, but here's the suppository, honey. Can you put that up there? Because I don't think I can. See, and see, that's the thing, because so many people, like my best friend, I love him to life. My best friend is one of them people that he most definitely have a job basically for the money, period. He hates his job. He's an executive for Under Armour. But he hates his job. I remember one day I told him, I said, well, you know, Andre, you know, a happy employee is a productive employee. He said, oh, fuck a happy employee. I just need him to work. I said, that's why the fuck you have problems with your employees now, just because of that damn mindset you had.
Right. Okay. I've been an empath all my life, even as a little boy child. Yeah. So have I, and had to realize it later. No matter what is going on, it should be reported. Of course. Okay. It should be reported. I would ask for a supervisor faster than anybody could say amen. Come on now. Okay.
I hear you, Miss Pat.
Okay. A lot of countries have universal health care, and America should already have that place in line. You know what? Listen, every time I think about that, see, for us to be the greatest country in the world, the greatest, that's the part I have a problem with.
Yes.
Because how is it? I go back to the Oprah interview that she did with Bill Gates and they were talking about the education and how we're the greatest country in the world, yet we were number 24.
Right, in education.
In education at that time. And I'm sure that it done got worse since.
It's be worse.
Okay.
Especially with
we're the greatest country in the world. Okay. We're the greatest country in the world, and yet we have not found out how to stop these damn medical companies and stuff from being such a monopoly to where the medicines are not costing us ridiculous amounts of money. Exactly. What is it that other countries are doing that we're not doing to where they could offer universal health care to where it's not breaking the country or the bank? What is it they're doing that medicines are costing little or nothing? Because remember, we still got folks over here that will go get medicine in Mexico and go get medicine in Switzerland and go get medicine in Canada and go get medicine in Finland and go get medicine in the Swiss Alps and shit. They'll go get medicine, you know,
they'll go get treatment
much cheaper, and that's including your damn airfare there and back.
Yeah.
Research Department as of I don't know how true this is, but as of 2020, the United States stays on top as #1 in the educational rankings in 2020.
What's the source on that?
Right. The source of this is Wheaton School of the University of Pennsylvania. Which I don't believe anyway in the world, because first of all, education, I know we don't rank high in math because the Asian people got that.
I would post that all day.
Send that link.
Because we need to cross reference that, girl.
Yeah, I got
yeah, I'm gonna cross-reference it.
You
because
know,
see, something was heard don't sound right, and I'm wondering. See, the reason I want to cross-reference that because I'm wondering if that's one of those. I don't know which wing it is, the right wing, the left wing, whichever. Those damn proud to be an American people that America can do no wrong. Kind of, those children. I wonder if that's one of those because see, that we already know we don't rank at the top because hell, if that was the case, then we wouldn't be harping on the STEM program, science, technology,
Right.
What's the E? Engineering and math,
Right.
whatever. Okay.
That's it.
Now this is another one that's probably more accurate. Number 10 is Luxembourg. Number 9 is Norway. Number 8 is Finland. Number 7 is Australia. Number 6 is the United States. Number 5 is the United Kingdom. Number 4 is Korea. Number 3 is Israel. Number 2 is Japan. And of course, number 1 is Canada.
And keep in mind, 7 of those 10 countries that I know offhand offer universal education. In other words, through college, completely paid for.
Wow.
Even if you go to medical school.
Yeah, okay, that's something to look at.
Those of us who the AARP member, we always know that America was never in the top damn
right.
top 10 in any goddamn thing.
You said 8 in Michigan, cuz? Well, it's 8 strands in Michigan?
Thank you, baby.
Oh, clarify that, because I know that came when we were talking about the strands.
Yeah, we a little
okay. You got to get up and leave. We got people waiting for this table. Okay, girl. Oh. Don't start me with that one because I heard that. Okay. I know I wouldn't take the Johnson & Johnson vaccination. They were sued for the talcum powder.
Pfizer been sued a few times too, Miss Pat. It ain't just Johnson.
Because of COVID-19, you have to wait out in the hall until your doctor's ready to see you. That's bullshit. Yeah, it is.
But you know what? I don't have a problem with that. I really don't. Because I don't if I'm in a doctor's office and it's a lot of people there, I probably would turn and walk away because I guarantee you, if they're waiting women, they got people out there, I guarantee you it's 3 or 4 of them that ain't got on no mask. Bitch, I'm not going. Now when I go to my doctors, they do the scan. They, take you to get your vitals, and then you go right in to see the doctor. When I came out seeing my doctor, when I was walking out, the next patient was coming in that my doctor was going to see.
Wow. Okay. And they don't even know how long it's lasting in your body. Exactly. Right. That's one of the exactly.
Dr. Fauci said it might be possible that we could just get the 1 shot instead of the 2, because for those of us who've had it or think we had it, if they test for the antibodies, that first shot is like a booster shot to your antibodies, so you don't need the second shot.
Right.
There's so many different layers to this thing.
Right.
Buck, I need you to find out for me how accurate is the home test. That's what
right. Okay.
Can you find 92?
It out? 92% accurate, yeah.
Okay.
And then Jehovah's Witnesses halls, you had to sit in the same seat.
It's done right.
Really? Yeah, you know what? And they've been doing that for a long time.
Yes, they have.
You sitting in the same seat. I used to study under Jehovah's Witnesses, and a lot of black people got it, including celebs. Okay,
black people,
absolutely minch. Okay, the media has been the worst component of COVID-19, just like the HIV. The media hating to miss out on the last-minute scare story and literally jump in front of the scientists and won't let them work. Confusion is killing more people than the actual sickness.
And I still not agree with you, Haji, but I say the worst component actually was the government, particularly when Stupid was in charge. Because with all the confusion he had going on with that, it made it difficult to trust what to believe or not.
But then that's what I can't speak for. When it comes down to my life and my health, I do my own damn research.
Right. Okay.
I went to my doctor said, "Well, Derek, we want to put you on this." I'm like, "Well, girl, you have to give me until tomorrow or the next day so I can go home and read up on this shit." So I can know what's A, B, and C. And she went, yes, I do that. You're not. I fired. Listen to me. I fired a doctor because she decided to take it upon herself to up my blood pressure medicine and didn't fucking tell me.
Okay.
I didn't find out until I went to the pharmacy and it said 20 milligrams. I said, well, bitch, this ain't for me because I take 10.
And let me ask you, when they prescribe you these medications, do you take the time to look up to see what the hell it is?
Hey.
I know I do.
I do, because and I guess the reason why I do is because of the other ailments that comes along with my life.
Right.
I need my big thing with any medicine right now is how. Check this out. Keeping it real. Y'all know I keep it real. R to the E to the A to the motherfucking L. My biggest concern right now is how is this shit going to counteract my fucking HIV meds?
Okay. Well, and that part. Okay.
You got to know that.
And how do and that there is where everything else is. If this thing is a respiratory problem, I'm taking on this goddamn albuterol and shit for asthma.
Hello?
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You know, how is it going to counteract that? Because shit, one of the symptoms of having this shit is still shortness of breath.
But
okay,
when your airways get open, are you will you be
go back.
When you take that damn pump and you breathe in something, are you at more risk because you take this goddamn
Because I'm taking my medicine, right? And that there is something to consider. Well, how people saying the media has been the worst component. Well, you know, I'm gonna give him that to a point, and here's where I am.
I'm not saying they are part of.
I don't think that they jumped in front of it. I think what they did is that the information that was there, they do like they always do. They take that and they loop it, and then they make sound bites, and they loop a sound bite.
Right.
And see, y'all know I did the timeline on the news a long time ago. Then I'm gonna do it again. I'm gonna start at 4 a.m. Okay, let's go 4 o'clock in the morning. Right? At 4 o'clock in the morning, we have, and I'm only using ABC because that's the channel that I watch. A very, very determined channel.
Okay.
At 4 o'clock in the morning, we're already at America This Morning. Okay. Right. News. Okay. 4:30 starts our local early news.
Right.
Okay. They go to 7 o'clock in the morning.
Right. Same with 5.
Okay. So from 4:30 to 7 is all news.
Right.
7 o'clock is Good Morning America.
Right.
That's 7 to 9.
Mm-hmm.
News.
Right.
9 o'clock, Kelly and Ryan.
Yeah.
Entertainment news.
Right.
Because they hit and miss. Okay, but we're gonna leave the entertainment.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. 10 o'clock is another talk show. That's
Cameron.
No, I got Cameron. We got Kelly.
Yeah, okay. That's
Kelly from American Idol. Okay. So she's 10 o'clock.
Well, Kelly Clarkson, there we go. Okay.
That's it, Clarkson. 11 o'clock is The View.
Right.
More news. That's now, she's still entertainment news magazine, but they hard hitting news commentary.
Right.
I'm trying to tell you, them women ain't
okay, they hard hitting news commentary. Noon, 12 o'clock, we back to news.
Right.
Right.
You got your lunchtime news.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that goes to 1 o'clock. Okay, 1 o'clock is GMA 3.
Right.
What you need to know, because now that's hard hitting news because they started that
right
when the COVID started, because now there's an update on COVID and blah, 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 blah.
Right.
So that's more news.
Right.
Okay, then we got 2 o'clock, we got the soap operas. Okay, that's General Hospital, the only one that comes on now. Okay, General Hospital, so that's entertainment.
Right.
So right now, I've only said 3 hours of entertainment so far. Okay, since 4 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
At 3 o'clock, that's when Tamron comes on here.
Okay, and that's when Kelly come on here. Okay.
Okay. Tamron comes on here at 3 o'clock. So now, her being a talk show, and she's a journalist.
Right.
You know, we'll put her in entertainment, but she's still hitting news because a lot of her shit comes from the headlines. Right. We'll still put her in entertainment.
Right.
Okay.
We'll call journalism.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So that's 3 o'clock. At 4 o'clock p.m., we back to news.
Right.
So 4, 5, 6, 7 is news.
Right.
Okay. 7:30, Entertainment Tonight.
Right.
Access Hollywood.
Okay.
Right. Extra, all that.
Okay. 8 o'clock starts your so-called late night programming.
Your prime time.
Yeah, primetime television. So you got 8, 9, 10 o'clock.
11 o'clock.
Now that 10 o'clock hour gets that's questionable. Because depending on where you are and what time your local news come on.
Right.
Because here in Atlanta, we do have a 10 o'clock news.
Yeah, we do here too. Fox
okay.
WB20 come on 10 o'clock.
Okay, so we got a 10 o'clock news if you're into them, those children, okay?
Right.
If not, we'll have a 2020 special that may come on.
Right, that's Friday.
Okay. Or
Dateline Friday too.
Right, okay. So that 10 o'clock hour gets a little, that's a hit or miss. 11 o'clock, we back to news.
Right.
That's 11 p.m. We back to news at 11 o'clock. Okay, 11:30, we got Jimmy Kimmel.
Right.
Okay, so he comes on for about an hour. So that's the 12 o'clock and 12:30. No, that's the 12 o'clock. Excuse me. Because at 12 is Dateline.
Right.
That's a recap
Nightline.
of everything.
Right.
Okay, Nightline, yeah, because Dateline is NBC.
Right.
And 12 is Nightline. So now we back to news.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we back to motherfucking news. So they're going for an hour. And then at 1 o'clock, no. Yeah, no, I got my times on because it's Jimmy Kimmel's on at 11:30, 11:30 to 12. That's it. Because they come on at 12. Then from 12 to 12:30, it's the second thing with Jimmy Kimmel. Okay. Then at 1 o'clock in the morning, our 11 o'clock news repeats.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
2 o'clock here. Yep.
At 1 o'clock in the morning, the 11 o'clock news repeats. So okay, so that's from 1 to 1:30. Now, from 1 to 1:30 up until 3 o'clock, that's optional programming.
Right.
Okay, optional programming. Sometimes if they cut into something, they may repeat something. Lately, they've been rerunning Kelly and Ryan and carrying on.
They rerun Kelly here, or of course on Fox they do Dish Nation and all that.
Right.
And then we go to news, then we get Wendy or The Real, one of them.
Okay, so from 1:30 to 3 is optional television. So we're gonna put all that into entertainment.
Right.
Okay. At 3 o'clock in the morning, we back to news because I just said America This Morning at 4 o'clock.
Right.
No, that bitch starts at 3.
Yeah, yeah.
So from 3 to there, that's America This Morning.
Right. So basically,
nothing but news.
6 hours of other programming. Most of it's news.
Most of this is news. So when you sit down and talk about how they didn't jump in front of it, they just sit down there and do what the fuck they do. They get the people all in a rage because you're sitting down there listening to this loop and loop and loop and loop and loop. And then you get commentary on the loop. You get commentary on the soundbite. You don't get the full goddamn story. Everybody run that same soundbite. Okay? So now you get all of that. And so then what starts the confusion is when people got questions that nobody has answers to.
Yeah.
Or they escape the answers and this, that, and other. And they allow for conspiracy theories to start to develop. See? So that's what happens. So the media is a part of it, but we have to look at the information that's going out there. The media is responsible for manipulating it. But the people who put it out there, and did not control it.
Yes.
See, because they never went to the media and said, no, that's wrong.
Right.
We got to fix this. They never said we got to fix this.
Never will.
Okay.
Oftentimes people say fake news. But what's fake about it? What part of it is fake? That's the part you never got the explanation.
That's what you never say. And any time that was, and that's what I'm saying. The people who put it out there, they never ran with it. Because when we went to Agent Orange, and we were like, "What's fake about it?" He never said.
No, nope.
He never will.
He never gave the contrary to it. So it's like, okay, what are you talking about? And then this bullshit of alternative facts.
The hell is that?
A lie.
Exactly.
Okay, an alternative fact is a lie.
It's a lie.
So can we have some alternative lies then?
Right.
And then people have to realize all of this news is on network television. We're not telling you all the other stations that just have news all day, every day.
Oh, now you got a point right there. Because let me tell you something.
For those of us that'll sit there and watch CNN for 5-6 hours at a time, after that third hour, you done seen the same thing.
Listen.
Same little 2-minute sound bite from the press conference.
Let me tell you something, because this is how I learned that the Fox, the major Fox cable TV, I can't take it. Your local Fox News is where you get your reporters.
Right.
Okay. I can handle the local Fox channels.
Yeah.
Because they deal with local news. They deal with news stories. They're actually doing reporting. They're fact checking.
Right.
I can handle them.
Right.
But what keeps me from fucking with them is the fact that they are a Fox brand. Because when I listen to them goddamn that national shit,
the talking heads, particularly them people at 5 and Fox and Friends.
When I go to work, and I always know where I'm dealing with conservatives, because only conservative children that I know, this is just my experience, I don't know any liberals or moderates who watch Fox on a regular, the cable. They would have it on their goddamn Fox station. And when I tell you, I felt sickened because I don't touch the TV. So my entire shift, I had 8 hours of listening to them. And that and what they was, and I thought, it was because I disagreed with what they were saying. Okay. I thought that's all it was, and I was in my feelings. But baby, I got indoctrinated with that for 8 hours. And when I tell you, literally, I was sick. Literally sick by the time I left. Because it took me, I got into Miss Mavis, honey. That's what I named my vehicle, Miss Mavis.
All right, Mavis.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Right.
I'll take you there.
Okay. You got
right. And see again, remember that is the vehicle after the previous vehicle, which was Melody Cool. By Mavis
Staples. See, you better y'all act like y'all know me.
I know you, Chris. Don't play with it. That's what I say, honey. Don't play with it. Lay with it, honey. Don't play with it. Lay with it.
Okay. So when I got in the car, my stomach was just rumbling, and I just felt lethargic. I was like, "What the fuck?" And I ended up taking the street home. I didn't want to get on the freeway. I took the street home so that I could just, find out what it was. And when I came in here, I just laid out, and I just had to rest because I felt literally nauseous.
And probably
Because
probably why? Because your spirit don't do too well with a bunch of lies.
Exactly. And that's and I'm telling you, this is when I learned that I could not deal with that. Now, to be fair, because I thought that it was just Fox. When I listened to CNN for the same 8 hours, I didn't get sick, but my head started hurting. I got a headache.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Especially
my head started hurting.
Chris Chromo and your favorite hours.
Miss Don, Donisha. Okay. After 8 hours, I got a stark, pounding temple headache. Okay, which said my blood pressure was up or whatever that was. I was like, I can't deal with this. Not on no consistent basis like this. Because right now, what y'all doing, honey, I can't. Because for me, you are indoctrinating some bullshit.
Yeah.
Thank God, YouTube TV, so you could be like, okay, fast forward, next segment. Okay, now
exactly.
New show.
Exactly. Those particular things, I have to sit down there and say, okay, either I'm gonna watch my Rachel Meadows or I'm gonna watch Cuomo because those are my programs.
Right.
But to sit down there all motherfucking 8 hours, even here, because I watch my local news. Like I said, I very rarely turn my channel from the ABC, which is channel 2 down here. Okay,
right.
Very rarely do I change. But even still, when they get on that goddamn news, you keep talking. Well, we're going to bring you the latest, honey. The latest is the same thing that you just said an hour ago.
Exactly.
Ain't nothing changed.
Breaking news. Something happened at 5 o'clock, and you had breaking news at 7 o'clock. If it happened at 5 o'clock, bitch, that's no longer breaking news, honey.
Right. And that there is that media manipulation that I swear I'm trying to get somebody to come on to talk with me. I got a news anchor who was willing to come on and talk, but I got to be pretty with asking these questions. It's going to be direct, but it's not going to be salaciously direct.
Right.
You know, I want to get the answers so that we can do this, because I don't like when see, you know, we come from the days when news was serious.
Right.
Okay.
Walter
when news was serious,
and rather
yes. When they sat down and gave us the news, they gave us what was on the paper. They wrote the facts.
Right.
Boom. Today, at 5 o'clock, the school had an explosion. The children were evacuated. We got someone there right now on the scene. That's to go to our on-the-spot reporter, Mary Roberts. Mary, what's going on down there? Carl, right now we have all of the children being taken here, over here, and this, that, and another. We got serious. Now what the fuck we getting? We get that plus commentary on top of it. You know, Bill, ridiculous, horrible, nightmares, things that we've ever seen before. Hi, I'm Bill Bond.
Yeah, you get the Wolf Blitz tonight. That's absolutely terrible. They should be arrested. Moving on, you know.
But then,
right.
and then the sad thing about it is you have and I know y'all know this, you have a lot of news reporters that report news and they're putting their own damn commentary onto the story.
That's exactly what we're saying.
Story about.
That's exactly what we're saying.
Yeah. So yeah, so I get where you are with that, Haji, but I don't think they jumped in front of it. They just did what the news. Okay. Last time I was tested for COVID-19 was when I was admitted to the hospital last year, really. Okay. So true, Helena. Okay. Some have died after the second vaccine shot. Yes. Yes, yes, yes.
Okay. And keep in mind, that happens with any of these vaccination shots, just for the record.
Right. Yes, I'm HIV positive, undetectable, and was about it. Provider was not telling me, switching me, while telling me why, switching me to Biktarvy. Okay. Using people as guinea pigs, Helena, of course. Okay, life insurance, right. Okay. I got health, but not life yet. Okay, y'all got to be careful with prep meds, because you don't know who makes it and their personal opinion of homosexuals. Now, that's a very good point. How do you know how to take care of yourself if your status is hidden? And if it destroys your liver and bone stability, that sounds like toxic eugenics. Very interesting. That's interesting. Now, you know what? I'm going to give you that, baby. I'm going to give you that, because I like where that went. Yeah. I like that. Yeah. Because that's something that I don't think any of us have thought of in that particular capacity. And we could take that across the board as far as the vaccines that came on. Because remember, when the vaccine first hit, they were trying to get it to the Black community first.
Right. And remember, one of the first things they pointed out was, yeah, a Black person helped to invent this particular vaccine.
Right. Okay.
That was a selling point.
Okay, so right. That's almost like that. Even keeping on the news, that's almost like that, because I'm gay, that every time a goddamn gay news reporter comes on the TV, I'm supposed to be like, oh, that's good. No, bitch, it don't work like that.
It don't work like that. I'm glad you worked, and yes.
Just because it was a Black man that helped invent that, a woman, that doesn't represent Black people as a goddamn whole. Because as far as we know, he could be in somebody's damn
right, exactly. Okay. Okay, hospitals can't throw you out because you're not covered. No, they're not supposed to. But however, they would have a loophole to where they would get you out quickly, and they do. Yeah. And especially if you're in the hospital who are uninsured, they would give you 3 days, honey, 3 days max, unless you can't breathe or you are completely can't talk. They would get you up to speed, honey, because they would tell you that we got to get you out of here, because we need this bed, especially after child, wait till you've been discharged and you say you waiting on your ride. If they come up in that room in a minute, you got to get ready to go because we need this room.
Okay. Wheelchair right here by the door, and when they come get you, okay.
But what they're supposed to do, children, listen to a little bit of experience. What they're supposed to do is say, well, you don't have insurance, but we do have a social worker here that can talk to you and help you get insurance. But how many hospitals do that? Not a damn one of them.
Listen, here's what they do. What they do now is, if you don't have insurance, I know down here in Atlanta they do this. They will send the social worker in, like right when you in the emergency room, honey.
Right.
Right. Oh yeah.
Are you getting the goddamn treatment? I've been in the middle of a motherfucking breathing treatment, child, and the social worker come up in here. Mr. Taylor, yes. Hi, I'm the hospital social worker. We just want to make sure I'm not.
Right.
Can we fill out this application so we can either first they ask me for my insurance cards, or if I don't have insurance, then I had to want to fill out the forms to see if I get insurance. Yeah, they do it right there, child. They don't.
I was getting a little
girl bad.
With the paperwork talking about.
I said, okay,
yeah, we know.
I'm down here because I'm still doing homework. Okay, I know, baby.
Hey, you need to rest your voice.
It's definitely a business, and please don't do that DNA testing, because if someone rich needs a lung or a kidney, and they know you are a match because you sent it to them. Oh, come on now. See,
what
they're
happened to you today, Barbara G? You call me.
Well, I mean, when you get technical, I don't want to go off subject, but when you get technical, even when you think about these children being sex trafficked, y'all fail to realize some of them are being sex trafficked for their fucking body organs.
For their body part, yeah.
True.
Yeah, and yeah. Okay. If you inbox me, I can help you get life insurance. That's what I do. Oh, really, Pranita? Oh, girl, come on.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. There's a lawsuit with Gilead for HIV TDF medicines that cause chronic kidney disease, such as Truvada. Oh, yeah. Okay.
It's more than one of them. Look it up. It's more than one of them.
I'm going to hit you in your head. They need Olympic
You know what, Hodge? You have, I guess you try to get on Meech's good side, but you tried it.
Okay, damn.
Well, they're gonna put.
I think transgender should have their own categories. I do too. And you know what? We'll get into that in just a minute because you brought that up. Let me get through the rest of these comments. Derek is telling the truth. Them meds sell better than crack, honey. Okay.
Wow.
Okay. Hey. Okay. What do they do with those pills? Resell them? That's against the law. Child, buying them is against the law.
Right, exactly.
Let's be for real. How many people you see? Let's be for real. How many people? Well, maybe not y'all, but here in Baltimore, I see people walking around selling Bukes, selling fucking perks, selling Danny bars right in the middle of downtown. So it's a lot of things that are illegal, but that never stop motherfuckers from
doing the hustle. That's just the hustle. My nurse sent me into labor. I told her I had jumping veins and I need the nurse that specialized in IVs. And she told me she could do it. But by the third time, I was crying. And the fourth time, my best friend almost caught a case. Okay, right.
Well, girl, first of all, girl, you would have never got a fourth try. I'm trying to tell you.
But that was back in the day. Now, remember, she said this is back in the day, honey, when she was, you know, in labor and carrying on and trying to sit down there and do the whole thing.
Hey, Ro, what's going on?
Yeah, hey, Ro. Another reason with them stopping donating food is because those people would hurt up and be stuck in locations like downtown Atlanta, and the homeless would harass people or break into cars. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
But yeah, then that's when you as a city need to take it upon yourself and
trying to jack you for your shit. Okay.
And do the food giveaway, maybe a mission or somewhere like that that's not in the middle of the middle.
Okay. Yeah, the food from your job is so good. Depending on who cooking, honey. I always got mine from Mama Glow when she cooked there. Okay, United Airlines used to do that. Send food to the food bank. They stopped for fear that they might get sued if anyone got sick. Yeah. And he was so mean and nasty to me. Child, yeah, okay.
Well, girl, you can't be sticking your finger up nobody's butt and don't think they're going to be mean to you.
Lady Rawls was our education secretary, and she don't know jack about the educational system. So that source was BS. Okay, right.
Yeah, true that.
Okay.
He's showing all this body up on this screen. What is going on, honey?
43 countries around the world have universal health care.
Yes.
43 countries around the world have universal health care, and we keep saying we're the best country in the world.
Remember, basically any country that has over 100 million people in it, they have universal health care. Even India, Brazil, Russia, Japan, China.
Most places you can't get into a healthcare facility without a mask. Okay, absolutely, Helena. There are 9 countries who actually offer free education for American students as well. Wow.
Yeah. Sweden.
Okay. Johnson & Johnson knew about people getting cancer, yet they did nothing about it. Now they're being sued because of it. Yeah, that's all that damn talcum powder.
Yeah.
And then we gonna let's make that make sense. They already in the middle of a lawsuit over science that they already knew was wrong.
Mm-hmm.
They knew that in the testing that was proven in their own literature about talcum powder.
Yeah.
And we gonna trust them to make a goddamn vaccine?
Hello.
But see, you got to realize that's why they gave all these companies that's doing the vaccines blanket immunity against lawsuits. That's one of the things that was passed in one of the executive orders that the orange bastard did that slid under the cracks with people. So all y'all people thinking y'all gonna sue them because so-and-so died from the vaccine, not gonna happen.
And yet we gonna trust Johnson & Johnson to do a damn vaccine. And they're already in lawsuits because nobody listened or trusted their own word. They went against their own science.
Pfizer got lawsuits on the books too right now. Ain't the only one.
But see, what people need to realize is that Pfizer and Johnson & Johnson, I want people to realize they've been getting lawsuits way before this COVID shit came out.
Right.
You need to realize that. I mean, you talking about something as most of us would see as minute as talcum powder. I mean, you remember back in the day, everybody used to put talcum powder all on their chest, all on their back,
yeah, hello,
all on their pussy, all over the place.
Right. Remember, they had some issues with the baby oil too, as I recall.
Yeah.
Well, I never had any issue with baby oil.
Oh. I read everything when it comes to. I read everything when it comes to medicine, honey. Okay.
For me, that's fine.
Yeah, because you so nasty sometimes. I can't sanitize myself.
Okay. Okay. I read all of the side effects of medicine every time I sign something, no matter how big or small, because I want to know what I'm taking, as well as contracts, so I would not be signing my life away. And I noticed that some people, when signing contracts, do not want to read everything because they trust everybody.
They make contracts like that so you don't want to read them, honey. That's why they make them like that. They'll put all the good stuff high, blah, 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 but then way down in those little goddamn letters where a bitch got to pull out a magnifying glass. It says if you kiss John on Monday, bitch, you're not going to get your $10,000. But I don't never read that shit.
Okay, right. Okay.
Oh, he said time out. Ain't my fault.
No, can we get a commercial break here?
Okay. I'm trying to get through all these comments because I'm gonna. Yeah. Okay, exactly. Okay. What we got? It is people bleed the same blood chemically. It has been proven though, science people of color can receive the same blood as another culture of transfusion. Black people organs, blood, and other body fluids are different than other cultures. Okay, yeah, they've scientifically proven that.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Notice that when a new med is advertised on TV, there's a battery of side effects up to and including death. How about that?
Yes.
Remember that part.
Say that. Okay, now say that. Okay, banks won't let you in without a mask. No one does. Okay.
I don't think nobody
how about that?
In without a mask. I'm sorry.
No, and now it's a federal mandate.
And I'm glad it is.
Right.
I'm glad it is.
It's a federal mandate now, honey. Any federal buildings are carrying on. Yeah.
Right. Any public transportation.
Yeah. Okay. So now let's do this. I want to take a break here. When we come back, I want to bring up something that Barbara just brought up about the sports and the transgender thing, because did y'all see the article a few days ago? I had posted something up where it was a high school track team or whatever.
Yep.
And 2 trans girls, they won, and in the first place and the second place, and this time the other. It's a whole big thing about. And at first, but I'm still a trans advocate. But at the high school level, I got issues. So we're gonna talk about that when we come back. Okay.
Ooh,
talk about that with come back. What am I gonna do first? I'll do this. Oh no, let me do this. I'll go here first.
Xander, Laura Bishop, your new protege, former military, former lawyer.
Started working on security for the new building a month after you left. Cameras in all directions, two-way.
Let there be night.
Steve from our protection.
Let me find my little girl.
So how can it be about me? When I never planned on leaving alive.
I'll let you live.
We're not asking for your permission. We're not seeking your approval. We're claiming what's ours in the name of our ancestors. We are their answered prayers. This is more than a movement. This is a revolution. Black innocence. What are yours today? Attention all business owners. Use your advertising dollars here. Looking to reach a more diverse audience for your products and your services? Well, this is the platform for you. Dishing Tea Entertainment welcomes all businesses who wish to expand their brands and looking for clientele that's more than grown and sexy, but also the seasoned and sophisticated. For more information on how this spot can be yours, contact Big Meat at 404-914-5610 or go to our website at www.dishingtea.com. The views and opinions expressed here on Dishing Tea TV are strictly those of the hosts and guests of this program. They do not reflect the views and opinions or governing actions of any of the sponsors or affiliates of Dishing Tea Entertainment, Artist First Entertainment, Big Guy ENT, Atlanta Hot Radio, Black GDP TV, or Diversity TV. Your viewing and listening discretion is advised. Oh, I don't like that setup. Wait a minute. Hold on. That looks great.
We side pieces, Eric.
Okay, right. Okay. There we go. That's better. Okay. I did not like that setup. Okay. What's your what you say? Your side pieces?
It is this is 3 handsome men on this panel tonight. Go ahead, handsome men.
Okay, dig it. Okay. So now let's do this. So wait a minute. We got what is this? Please watch event 201 to find out about the origins of COVID-19. Johnson & Johnson were on the panel, as well as John Hopkins. Okay. Y'all got to remember, lawsuits are a result from using petroleum for more than gas. Your meds and personal care products have much petroleum in it. Yeah.
Right.
Okay. I saw it was just on Fox 45 News. Okay. The link has been sent to Miss G. Okay. Yeah. Oh well, you know what? Hold on. Let me repost it. Anybody else who may want to come up in here?
Come on, Barbara.
Anybody else? If y'all want to come on up in here,
Come on over there, Miss Pat girl. Let me hear
to
you.
have a couple of words because we're finna get into this about the transgender thing, and it's going to be a touchy subject because it usually is, because a lot of people get into their emotions when we talk transgender issues and things. But this one here with the sports, here, and I'm gonna stick to this. I'm going to stick to this because my major thing is this: if the women say I'm okay with it, and the women agree to do it,
let it go.
then what the fuck is the holdup? Okay, what the fuck is the holdup? The problem is that there may be a handful of folks who say, no, this is not what I want to do. And that handful is not enough. It becomes diplomatic.
Yeah.
Okay. You know, it becomes diplomatic. If that handful don't outweigh those that say, let's do it, you know, because it done got to the point now to where they figure, oh, I could do this. Hey, you think you want to be a woman? I'm a real woman. So it becomes all of that, you know.
Right.
And then they're up for the challenge. Now, somebody who's into sports are into sports. It's kind of the same how women used to do on the basketball court. When a woman was up against a man on the basketball court before there was women's basketball, it wasn't about whether or not, it was all about the game.
Right.
Okay. Who got the best layup? Who got the best this? Who got the best that? Okay. But I also say that this argument is always one-sided because they're always talking about trans women in sports competing against females. They never talk about trans men who compete against males. Okay? We never hear that, especially when we have trans men boxers who have been winning their fights. They won their fights.
Yes, but nobody talks about it.
But they don't talk about that.
Right.
Okay? And then you know, unless they lose, and where I was beating up on the girl anyway. See, it becomes all of those stupid ass shit.
Right.
You know, but this case here with these high schoolers, this is where I'm going to take exception. Okay? And the reason why I take exception is because at the high school level, okay, most of those children are not on any kind of hormonal treatments.
Right.
Okay. So because they're not on any kind of hormonal treatments, their bodies have not started to do a change. Then they have not started to physically transition outside of wearing hair and makeup and clothing.
Right.
Okay. So that means, and for those of y'all who are trans out there, I don't mean to offend you, but basically what we're dealing with is a boy in a dress. Okay. Who identifies as a woman. Now, this is where was this? Was it Connecticut or whatever the C place is, Carolina, one of them places where on their books they're saying that they can't discriminate, you know, it's sexual orientation or gender expression. They can't discriminate against that. So they have to treat the child as the gender they identify as, which I have no problem with that. Right. I have no problem with that at all. The problem that I'm having with it is just because I identify as a girl, I am not biologically female. Okay. I can identify as a woman all day, honey, but I'm not female. Okay. And in those particular cases, these children, honey, who are on these sports as transgender, it is a disadvantage because they're not a
right.
Hormone blockers and carrying on. The hormone blockers not replace hormones. They can block testosterone or whatever, but they don't replace it. That's still not saying that the estrogen level is going to produce enough to where it will offset the testosterone. Okay. So what happens is with hormonal treatments for those who are transitioning, it's a hormone replacement therapy to where when they're taking the estrogen, talk trans women. When trans women are taking estrogen, then what they're doing is They've done everything to decrease the testosterone production so that the estrogen levels rise. So hormonally speaking, they are female.
Right.
Okay. And carried on. So because of that, that there is where this is. So when they look at it from a chromosome characteristic or whatever, if they get very technical and want to break this down, then it becomes a little bit that way. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So now, and then the body reacts differently. But when it comes down to these high school kids, that they're kids. Most of those girls are not going to sit down there and say, or they probably will because they're friends. You know, oh, it's cool. You know, we'll do this and we'll do that. You know, but it defeats the purpose of what this is, and I just don't see that. I don't see that as being advantageous for the school as far as a win-win or whatever, unless you start to bring in more trans folks who are on these sports teams or whatever, and then you give them their own category.
Right. But see, here's another thing that kind of bothers me. I mean, because keep in mind, it's only certain
Wait a minute.
sports.
I'm sorry, they need their own category. That's not fair. See, you keep saying what's not fair.
Come in, Baba. Come talk about it.
You keep saying they need their own category. I'm saying this. No, they don't. I'm saying they don't. When it's at the point of adults, we at the point of adults, and everybody sit there and say, "Yes, I'm gonna do this." Ain't nobody got shit to say. If I'm transgender, and I say that I'm a track star, okay, and I'm doing this, and this, and the folks don't petition the commission and say we want to trans this, and this, and the trans folks they fighting to get on, and okay, those who sit down there that got to vote for it to say yes, if they say yes because all of the other women say yes, we gonna do this, and yes, I'm a part of it, yes, I'm down for it, then who the fuck are we to say no, that's wrong? They the ones that say, yes, I want to do this, and yes, I can whoop this bitch's ass on the court, or yes, I can whoop him on the net. They said yes.
Right.
So they take, as far as being fair, it's not about being fair. They said they want to do it.
But see, like, I want to point out. Go ahead.
Like the point you made meets the bottom line, and I'm gonna tell you like this. This is I said what I said Sunday, and I'm gonna fucking say it. I get so tired of everybody only looking at the trans woman side of this goddamn equation.
Argument, exactly.
They have had trans men that played NCAA Division I fucking basketball. So stop all the bullshit.
Okay, and another thing people got to realize in some of these smaller communities, oftentimes they have co-ed teams. So if we have a co-ed team, does that make it not an issue at that point? Because if the boys playing with the girls, it don't matter who is what or what is who at that point, right?
Right. Now let's go there because that's an interesting argument.
Yes.
Because if it's co-ed team, volleyball is usually a co-ed sport.
Yeah.
You know, volleyball is a co-ed sport.
A lot of the wrestling teams are co-ed, particularly in those places where there's a smaller amount of people and some of the lesser weights. They don't have a women's team necessarily for that. So they allow women, if they're the same weight as the boys, wrestle with the boys. So there's that.
So, I mean, look at it. I mean, even if you want to take it heterosexually, they complain about if a girl wants to be on a wrestling team. They complain if a girl wants to be on a fucking football team.
Yeah. Okay, well, wait a minute. Hold on. Let me read this comment first because it's long. Because here's my issue. It takes away from girls' high school sports scholarships, aka money. Those transgender most likely won't be in women's sports in college because college is a private business.
That's not true.
And they could say no, like when Morehouse said no to male students in dresses. Okay, I'm going to give you that to a point yet again.
Right.
See, how do your points are cute, but they only a point to a point.
Right.
Okay.
Remember, universities are public universities, by the way.
Yes, it is.
And most of the ones that's getting scholarships and carrying on are playing on the public level.
Right.
Okay. Now the private universities, this is something else. And then again, going back, and I'm gonna take this hell off because it's hot. Going back to the whole thing with the Morehouse thing or whatever, I totally agree with that. Because if you identify as trans, you're no longer identifying as a boy. Morehouse is an all-boys campus.
Exactly.
If you identifying as trans, take your ass over to Clark or to Spelman.
Right.
Okay. As trans woman, let me clarify that, because
right.
Morehouse is an all male school.
Well, there are male. It's in the bylaws that it's for just males. So
yeah. So if you are a male, if you are a woman, no, honey, no. Now it's a separate thing if you're a drag queen. If you're a drag queen or just going out and carrying on because that's nighttime activities, that's I took offense to that when they said, oh, they could be dressing on the campus and carrying on. I was like, wait a minute, you can't tell me what the hell to do when I'm on my own time. Because if I'm going out to the club because I don't have to worry about school or whatever, my homework and shit is done. This is what I'm doing when I'm going out. As long as I'm not coming to class like this and carrying on, that's a whole separate thing. Okay. Those who identify as trans, no, ma'am, that's an all-male campus. You're not identifying as male, so get your ass off the goddamn campus.
Right, and that's just
okay.
Like, I mean, even if you want to move outside of sports, it's the same thing that our trans brothers and sisters go through when they're trying to join fraternities and fucking sororities.
Exactly. The school board put the transgender in the women's sports because they have no respect for the girls and want to protect the ego of the boys. It ain't about protecting the ego of the boys. If you want to put that and say that the school board did it, somebody approved it. Why don't we look at who approved it and said, yes, we could do this? Because it wasn't just the ACLU putting pressure on these folks. Okay?
Yeah.
It wasn't just that. What we have here was somebody to the public and said, this is what we're doing. The public came down there and raised the fit or whatever. Did they raise a strong enough fit? Because somebody said yes. Okay? Somebody said yes. And not just the higher up, because the higher ups are going to take the blame for it, but the public got to take the blame for that too. But on this high school level, I'm having an issue with this high school level, because that there I think is too much. I think on their high school level, them kids ain't ready for all that. They're not ready for that.
Like I said, it's only an issue because some of these people are winning. If they were just participating and it didn't matter, that'd be a whole nother story. But because
wait a minute,
now all of a sudden it's an issue.
Because that was pretty easy. I wanted to come back to her because she said, well, some transgenders didn't win. Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And she said, well, they only want to complain because they lost and mad. And hey, okay. Hey, let's go there now. I see we got folks again. Israel, nephew, your device is not connected, baby. So come out and come back in. Try to log back in because you're not connected right, or whatever that is. Okay.
It gets so hey, Red.
There you go.
I got Red and I got G up in here. Barbara G. Come on up here. Come on, Barbara G.
Come on now.
What's happening, babies?
Hey, you got it, girl. Come on up in here, girl. Come on and do like we gonna do, girl. You know I love your ass.
You already know. Because I was about to type, I don't care what they identify as. As long as they are still a girl or still a boy, they should not be playing in the opposite sports. I don't care. And whoever approved it, he couldn't have gotten any permission from the players, because the players are the ones that's talking about it. You know what I mean? If I was those girls, I wouldn't play.
But this is now this is why this
they didn't get a response from the players. You can't say that. How can you
say
that?
Say that again. I didn't hear that. Say that again.
I said, but you can't say that the players didn't say yay or nay. You're
right. You're right. I did assume that. You're absolutely right. But if somebody said that it wasn't the players.
Jay, I got a question for everybody. What if they put them in there and there was 3 prizes, first, second, and third, and all 3 of them transgender won?
But this is what happened. Because
no. I want to know, do you see a problem there? If all 3 won,
I do.
If they won everything across the board.
But but most people won't have a problem if all 3 of the transgender lost. That's double-minded. That's crazy to me.
Here's where it is, though.
If you have an issue with them winning, then why don't you have an issue with them losing?
Because I have an issue with them winning because they have an unfair advantage. That's why I have an issue with it.
If somebody has been,
if they lost, maybe something is not right with them. But if they was winning and they was killing us like it ain't no tomorrow, then I'm sorry. Why am I even in this sport? Why am I even playing? If now we got to play with people that identify as women that are not women.
Okay, hold on. Here's let me interject here.
Well, give them their own league. Fuck it, give them their own league.
That's what I said. They need their own categories just for transgenders.
But the point you got to realize is there enough for them to have their own league? That's what you got to take into consideration. You can't start a league with 2 or 3 transgender damn people and say you don't.
So what are we supposed to do? Change the whole game for 2 or 3 people, and it's still unfair. Remember the guy that didn't have no legs that won the race, and everybody was complaining that he didn't have no legs, and he beat the ones that had legs.
But
and everybody was complaining that he had a disadvantage. I mean, you know what I'm trying to say, an unfair disadvantage.
You talking about the guy who ended up killing his girlfriend or wife?
Yeah, Petrulli.
I guess. I don't know about
that. But the sad thing about that was when he went to the Olympics, he didn't even place.
Oh, shit.
He didn't even place in the top 10.
Okay, now hold on. Here's what I got you, baby. I'm going to bring you in just a second. Hold on. I want to make this a point. Because the argument that is going on here is that, Brett, what you just said was, what happened was it was 2 of the 3.
Right.
That got the first and second place. Right. But I want to stress that this is on a high school level. Okay? This is high school. And this is where my problem is with it, because on that high school level, only thing, for the most part, that we know about for those who are transitioning, because I'm not in their business, it's just that I know most teenagers are not on hormone replacement therapy, and most of them are not on hormone blockers.
Right.
Okay? So what we have are biological men who are identifying as girls, living their life as girls, and say, I want to play sports.
Right.
In this case, that there is a complete and total unfair advantage, because all you got is a boy in the dress and the hair and wigs. Okay? Now, I understand how they identify. I get all of that. But because there are no hormonal treatments, there are no steps to transitioning outside of makeup and hair and clothing, that strips everything. And in this particular case, I don't believe that the students say, yeah, I want to do it, unless they were friends, because we're still dealing with kids. See, this is why I'm saying earlier that they may have said, yes, I want to do it, because they're friends, they know them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They are hanging buddies or whatever the case may be. Or you got those who want to be bad bitches, but, oh, you think you're a real girl? Okay, now watch it. Yeah, you bring your ass out here, I'm going to smoke your ass. You know, that kind of thing. And I think it may have been friendly rivalry. Some of it may not be friendly. It might be, I just can't stand what you're doing. So please come on out here, Jump, and see how much of a girl you really is. You know?
Do you think maybe they were forced to be...
Hold on. Doesn't that affect the okay? Anybody know anything about sports in the high school level? Okay. And Eric, I'm sure you know this. Doesn't that affect the imbalance of the budget when it comes to doggone them reaching out to doggone scholastic scholarships for these doggone sport players? It totally throws off the balance of the money that they can get in from these universities in order to transition things. You know what I'm saying? When those scouts come out, they're not coming to those schools that's doing that, because they don't. You know what I'm saying? They're not going to go.
That's Hachi's point. That's Hachi's point about the scholarship money that transgender children are taken away.
A lot of big corporations are going to pull out.
Right. Well, see, you dealing with 2 different things.
There's a lot of big money in there.
You're dealing with 2 different things. On the one hand, you're dealing with high school, where you basically want inclusion and you want the kids to be part of some type of sports team, because you know most people who are a part of sports team, they build camaraderie and things that comes, you know, to be make them better people in life. But on the other hand, it is a corporation and things of that nature. It is a lot of money and stuff that comes into play, even on the high school level. So what Fred is saying in regards to that part is true.
Okay, so now here's where this is, because see, in knowing that somebody still said yes, we can do this, and it has nothing to. It's more than them saying, oh, we can't discriminate against them because of their gender expression. Because we got to look at the science of all this. I know damn well that in that particular state, that the parents had something to say about it, that the school board had not taken into consideration.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So this is where the high school level thing about all of this, I'm not down with that because of what it is. Now, Israel, I'm going to bring you up in here. I want you to talk, but before you say something, let me go to these YouTube comments. Okay. I don't believe no one is denying any individual, however they want to identify, which shouldn't matter, to play whatever they want to play. For example, if somebody was born a male and transitions into a male, they have the strength of a male. Okay. There is no debating that. Okay. This is Desire 89. Okay.
Is that true? Is that true? If I wanted to be a boy, I would start getting the strength of a boy and all that?
When you start taking the hormones, yeah, because testosterone when you start doing testosterone shots and start taking the T, and now your T levels start to overtake the estrogen, then yes, this is how they becoming men. So now they understand
I didn't know that.
Yes. This is why I'm trying to tell you. This is why on the high school level is something different because they're not on the hormones, which is why when it's transferred.
Barbara, that level is that. See, nobody. That's me. I'm talking about. A lot of people don't be filled in on how deep that shit is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because I didn't know that. That if I started, I wanted to
I got a whole female friend here in Atlanta that has a full-blown goatee that she grew.
I'm not talking about the hair. I'm talking about the muscles, though.
No, you're not understanding me. Everything she takes the stuff. She takes the pills for this. She's built up like a doggone bodybuilder. I'm talking about like when you see her, you're gonna be like, you'll see like, hey, bro, how you doing? And then you look again.
So you're telling me if I work out and I want to transition and I start taking the testosterone shots and all that other stuff, that I could get strong to be as strong as a man?
Yes.
It's like hold on.
Now let me say this. Your genetic makeup, you still will have 27 less muscles than a man because of your biology. But once you start taking the testosterone, yes, you will develop like a man.
Right, just like
take all of that. Yes.
If you want to develop into a woman, that's when you start to develop breasts and stuff. Same basic principle. Yeah.
But you have to keep in mind, like Miss D, Miss D was saying. But you got to keep in mind that's not something that just comes. You have to work at it.
You have to work at it, right?
Right. You're not going to go to the gym. You're not going to work out. You just going to become this strong ass man because it's not going to happen.
No, it's not like
Okay. Thank you.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Can I just say one thing real quick? What's her name again? What's her name? Right here at the top. Helena, yes. Yeah, you are the BOMB. I just wanted you to know that from me. I had no idea that was the same person that I'm talking to right now when I watched your podcast last week. I just had to tell you that. You are awesome.
That's why I always use that. That's why I always use that old saying: "What you see is not always what you get."
Amen. Well, I just want you to know you got me on that one. Okay, go back.
Israel, baby, come on up in here. What you've been wanting to get up in here? Talk to me, baby.
Hey, Uncle Meech. Hi, Mom. Hey, Eric. Hey, Big Brother. How y'all doing tonight?
We all right. All right.
I wanted to say, when you start transitioning and you start taking the hormone pills, like the testosterone and estrogen, chemically, you are a woman or you are a man.
Right, chemically.
You understand what I'm saying? You become a woman or a man. We all start out as women, and then we become either stay a woman or become a man. I think that basically the transgender, if they want to be on it, if a trans man wants to be on a man's team, or a trans woman wants to be on a girl, they should be allowed to do it. It's just it's the same thing. It's almost like discrimination. It's like we're going backwards instead of going forward. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, but
a little bit, but I still don't see the comparison when it comes to
what I'm saying
wearing a dress,
is,
or if you're transitioning. I still feel as if you have more power than a woman, even though you're taking the estrogen, even though you got boobs now and all of that. I still see the strength of a man. Now, all the ones that I met, they were still very strong.
Well, have you ever taken consideration of a woman who has the strength of a man?
Say that once more.
Have you ever taken into consideration a woman who has the strength of a man?
I have, but it would be stereotypical. It would be in a stereotypical way, like Leslie Jones. Like I would think Leslie Jones would be able to beat up like Danny DeVito. You know what I mean? That's how it is in my head.
I understand what you're saying, but when you start taking on pills, you chemically become the opposite sex. You chemically.
Okay, first foremost, hey, medical alert.
Now, when you say chemically, that has nothing to do with DNA.
No, I know. Wait a minute. It's chemically, you'll get the estrogen, get more estrogen, or you'll get more testosterone, and physically things change, and emotionally all that stuff changes.
Okay.
When you start taking those hormones.
I guess I'm crazy because you know what, and y'all,
you understand what I'm saying?
My transgender brothers and sisters out there, I'm not being disrespectful to you at all, but to me, you don't technically become that woman or that man until after all that shit is done.
Well, so you're looking at final.
Well, yeah, I know. Like when it's finalized, you're becoming. When you take the estrogen, and you are a man, you start becoming a woman. Yeah, and I understand what you're saying about the finalized, because I agree with that too. But when you have the testosterone, and you're a woman, you're becoming a man. And the finalization, I do agree with you on that. I do agree with that, Mom. Well, I agree with that. But when you start taking them pills, you're gonna chemically become what you're taking the pills for.
Okay,
and then you'll physically become it too. I have a friend who is a trans man. She was a woman and started taking the hormone pills, the testosterone, and it's becoming a man. Literally.
Well, my son was
physically, the physical features, emotionally, and all that.
My son
I know it was a woman, but it became a man.
Right. My son has a full beard and mustache, but he still has, and Meech and Eric, and I think Reds is on the show, but he still has a very feminine voice.
Okay, now hold on. Because see, what I don't want this to become is the whole nitpicking,
right,
kind of thing. Because when you start down,
I'm finna switch studios, but I want to tell you this. Somebody need to understand the fact that this might help Barbara out a lot too. And somebody need to understand that when someone is taking the estrogen or somebody's taking the testosterone, like say a woman is injecting herself with testosterone and doing all that, they develop the missing muscle mass.
Exactly.
And man, his emotions and all that kick in, and when he's doing estrogen, his muscle mass decreases, and that man, the same muscle, and he loses about 10 different muscles that a man would have against a woman. He loses
and we gain those muscles.
Yes.
Yeah.
You gain muscle mass.
The muscle mass, not the muscles itself, because it's 27.
You gain muscle mass.
You gain the mass, yeah.
And then you start working out.
Right, because what happens
is a process to go with that too.
Wait a minute. Okay, hold on, because see, I think who all on here? Wait a minute. I'm trying to get this to be cute. Dealing that I deal with the transgender community, and one of my daughters is on hormone replacement therapy, and I've been dealing with the hormones and know how they work. I've not been on them, okay, because I wasn't trying to be trans or anything. In dealing with it and understanding some of the science behind it, that's the part that a lot of folks don't get, okay? It's just like if a man is taking, when they're dealing with prostate cancer or any kind of cancer, and the whole thing is they have to do hormone replacement therapy in order to live, because the cancer, particularly with testicular cancer and stuff, or prostate cancer, hormone estrogen therapy is what they give men. And if you notice, any man who has been on estrogen therapy, he gets softer, his voice softens, lose a lot of muscle mass, he gets, he starts to develop breast and carrying on, and he starts to get soft. The facial features, everything starts to soften. He don't have a lot of hair production and carrying on, or growth production. And on estrogen therapy, his penis doesn't work all that. Okay?
No, it doesn't.
That's what they do for men who are with cancer. Okay? And you see the body changes and carrying on because it's estrogen. If the testosterone does not develop in a man, then everything that is masculine about him, it will change. And the body starts to react a certain way or differently.
Right.
Vice versa.
That's what I was trying to say.
Okay. Vice versa. If I'm sitting up here and I am a man and I'm looking to transition and I'm taking hormone replacement therapy for the estrogen, then yes, all of that is going to soften. The 27 extra muscles that a man has on a woman, they're not going to attain the muscle mass because there's no testosterone to build it.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
There's no testosterone in there to build it. So eventually, and I don't care how much of an athlete they are, if they're on hormone replacement therapy, even when they start to become bodybuilders and stuff, they do not have the same amount of mass because of the hormones.
Right.
Now, when trans men do it, they do testosterone replacement, they gain the mass because now the testosterone is there. So now when they can get harder arms and they can get stronger because of the testosterone levels have outweighed the estrogen in their body, which they take on those features. They could grow the beard, and then they take on a larger form. They could do that. They could lift heavier stuff. They understand what that male sex drive is of wanting to have sex all the time. Okay. And they start to understand, and they literally physically start to have those characteristics of becoming men, and they live that way. So this is where the science behind all of it gets complicated time to discuss, because all everybody think is, oh, you were born male. It's unfair for you to be here because these were born females. But I look at it like this. Anytime we've been dealing with this forever, where women have always had to stand. That was what the fuck the woman's rights was about. I could do this. I could do anything better than you can. That was the women's live. That was women's live and the women's fight. So now that we have trans women coming into play, there's a lot of women out there who still have that say, I could do anything better than you because you trying to be like me.
That's not what the women's fight was about. The women's fight was about equality.
I understand all that, but the moniker and all of that was
part of it.
But it wasn't that we're better than you. It's just if we do the same job, we should get paid. Like you.
Which is still going on, but it also became a part of that. Anything you could do, I could do better. Remember that song?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Remember that song? That was a woman who sang that. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So
touche.
That there was part, the women, it was more so, you're right, it was about equality and things of that nature, but it was also, don't sit down here and say that I can't just because I'm a woman, which is why women started becoming mechanics and truck drivers and all that kind of shit that was stereotypical, and police officers. That was stereotypically men's jobs. Right. Okay, oh no, I can do this. Okay, and could probably do it better. That kind of mentality. So that's what the fight was. But now that we got trans women coming into play, it's almost the same kind of fight, or the dare. Oh, well, you trying to be me. You think you me. Oh, well, shit, come on, we could do this. And especially now in this day and age, where women take on men as if they could go toe-to-toe with a guy nowadays.
And then, and that's even on the alphabet side, because because we are both performers. I personally think it's very unfair if I run in a pageant and I'm running against a transgender woman because she already got
titty queen, right? Right,
and
right.
I have to put my body on. I have to buy titties. So I think it's unfair if I'm running for a pageant that I have to run against a transgender woman who already had titties and ass. And I personally think it's unfair. And I'm a gay woman.
Right. And because we talking about the advantage thing, because it's like, okay, girl, this is an illusion. This is supposed to be an illusion contest. Bitch, this ain't an illusion for you because you live in this. You a woman. This is all coming off. It's going back in the box. You know.
Do they allow them into the competition? Because that doesn't seem like it's fair.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh wow.
Yes. Which is why then they started breaking down certain categories. I mean, hell, even with RuPaul Drag Race, this season, the first season, they got a trans person on here, but she's a trans man who does drag as a career.
Yeah, I saw that.
Right. Because you remember he was getting a lot of backlash from that because
he went on.
Wait a minute, she's a trans man that's dressing up like a woman.
Right. She lives her life as a man. She lives her life as a man. But to pay her bills, she's a drag queen.
Yeah.
Oh. Right, right.
Again.
Right, that went all over. I know. Again. But the thing of it, the point that I'm making is that even with RuPaul, she done opened up the playing field because for the longest time she kept saying this is a drag competition. Trans women are not drag queens. They live their life as women. Okay, so no, they don't belong in this contest because they're no longer drag. They're women.
I don't consider them drag queens or female illusions. I just consider them entertainers. Period.
You know.
Well, I don't think that's fair.
I
don't think they should be allowed in a competition if it's for drag queens.
Pageant, one of the requirements is you can't have anything done to your body from the neck down, and you can run. You can get your cheekbones here. I'm not worried about the cheekbones, bitch, because I can throw on some paint and make me look like my cheek to the guard.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can.
But I'm not worried. You got this big old rack up there, and you can wear a 2-piece bathing suit, bitch. I can't.
Okay.
Right.
Hold on for a minute because I want to address this. He said, Demetrius, I'm a guy who took testosterone. Whatever gains I got while taking tests went away when my circle was over. So when transgenders take their hormones and the circle is over, what are they called? Darling, this is what it is. You are a man taking testosterone. It's not going to do the same as a biological female who is transitioning. Testosterone is going to do something different with that body than it is with yours.
Right, because you're just adding on to what you already
have. You're adding on to what you already have. Your gains are there. A trans man taking tea, which is like they call it tea. A trans man taking tea, their body is going to react a whole different way because it is now becoming a man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because their body.
Go back to the basic part of this discussion. Remember, we're talking about the high school people that are not getting any of the treatments and whatnot. They are still biologically what they are. The reason why it's an unfair advantage for people in college and so on and pros is because testosterone gives you an unfair advantage in terms of building up body muscle and what have you. It's kind of similar to steroids in that regard. Because some athletes who are males take additional testosterone because that gives them a boost in their ability to build up their muscle mass, and that's illegal. So that's part of why that's an issue. But remember, we're talking about just the high schoolers who aren't able to do that. And for those of you who are saying, okay, well, they should have their own teams and their own leagues, remember, in a school, you might have one or maybe two people that are transgender. And if you only have the one person who wants to be on a team but can't, and you're saying have your own team, what they supposed to do? Just run one-man race? Just play one.
There's got to be other ones at different high schools. I mean, how come they all can't just get together? You know what I mean? It's not just. I'm sorry. It's not just one, per school. If it is one per school, then they need to get together and maybe the YWCA, whatever you call them, maybe they need to start a team. for the transgenders, and then they have their own little thing going on to where it doesn't seem like it's coming on to people or forcing them on other teams.
Okay, but then keep in mind, here in Michigan that might work. But let's just say you got somebody in Idaho or Montana, and the next school over is 60, 80, 100 miles away. You're going to subject them to that? It's just their bad luck because they live in Ohio and they happen to be transgender. Oh, well.
So my question to you is, would that in turn begin to say that these colleges are going to start initiating scholarships for transgender?
Oh, now that's a very good question. Now, hold on. Let's look at research. Let's look that up. Let's look that up. Transgender scholarships. Let's look at transgender sports scholarships. Let's look that up. And the reason why, and let's go there because we do have the gay games.
Right.
Okay. We do have the gay games. And in the gay games, which is the gay version of the Olympics, okay, all of the athletes are part of the alphabet children. Okay. They created this league because so that the people can be comfortable, they can be out, they can have their lovers there with them and carrying on, they can be into the sport without having to face the ridicule and stuff of the team members because they were competing with the other teams. Okay.
I agree.
Well, Miss Barbara and Meech, do you remember this years ago, even before transgender got popular? Y'all remember Dr. Renee Richards?
Yeah.
And she tried to play tennis, and they was like, "Yo, dude, don't mean no harm. We know you transitioned, but you still look like a dude, yo. You got all this body mass. You can't play tennis with these damn women." Martina Navratilova, Chris Everett Lord, all of them said, "Oh, girl, you can't play tennis with us."
And that's what it was. They stopped it.
Right.
See, they stopped it and said, "No, you can't play with us, and we're not gonna play this game." Then that's the point that I'm making. If the players stopped it, we wouldn't have this argument. But somebody said yes.
I bet you it was the parents that had something to say about it.
Well, you know what? The high school thing is different. That high school thing, that's tricky. I'm not in agreement with that high school on that high school level because of the hormone thing. Okay, because of that hormone thing, I'm not in agreement there because there's too many different variants there that are just it's still too young. You know what I'm saying?
They're still keeping you a boy.
Yeah,
exactly.
I agree.
When it comes to everything else, the college level and the professional and all that there is where I'm holding my argument because I'm like, if the children don't agree and the players say, yeah, we can do this, then who are we to question it? If the players say, yeah, just like you said with Chris Everett and Martina, and for Martina to say, no, and that bitch look like a damn man already. Okay. Okay, now that's the read right there. That's the read. Yeah. That's the real read. That bitch looked like she was just a step away from growing a damn dick. Okay, but I'm in a hormone shot. I'm coming, but the whole idea is that they stopped it and said no, this is not gonna happen.
As they should.
Okay, and so it didn't happen, and we didn't, and so now we don't know that. You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't no controversy. They said it ain't happening, and boom, they said okay, moving on. There was no controversy. We did not have the ACL. You talking about transgender rights and carrying on. Maybe we should have, but it was early. It was a different time period.
Oh, hell yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That was a whole different time period. So now that we're here and we have the transgender and our trans citizens looking for equity and carrying on, now we got to flush this out to where it makes sense. That high school level doesn't make sense to me. Go ahead, bud.
Okay, research department. No, we did not find any transgender sports scholarships, but there are over 25 transgender scholarships. I put the link right there in the comments. There are over 25 different transgender scholarships for both women and male schools alike.
Okay.
Academic though, right? Academics.
Yes, academic scholarships. Correct.
But that's where we need in order to me, as far as I'm concerned, in order to even kind of halfway level the playing field, and you know you're gonna have to give them their own scholarships, but without taking money from everybody else.
Exactly. That right there
I don't
is
want
where
you to give them transgender scholarships and you take the money away from the men and the women. No, that's not the purpose.
that
I
agree
most of
100%
these
with
scholarships,
that.
Right.
I agree.
Agree.
I
most of these
agree.
scholarships are formed by independent companies and entrepreneurs and philanthropists. So it's gonna have to take someone who is transgender, who has a considerable amount of money, say like a her name, please. The former Kris Jenner. Caitlyn Jenner. Someone who has that type of money that can establish a scholarship.
And you know what? Now that should be her motherfucking mission because shit, now even though she transgendered late, I mean she transitioned late in life, but she's still a sports person.
Exactly.
You know, she know what that struggle is, and she know what that fight is.
Right.
That would be
excellent platform for her. Absolutely.
I did my Olympic research. Let me tell you something. She is the most wealthiest former Olympian, period.
Oh my God. He was on Wheatie boxes. I mean, she was on Wheatie boxes.
Her net worth is over.
Oh my God, she was my idol when I was coming up.
Right.
I love me some Jenner.
Okay.
Made me thought I was gonna be on the Wheatie box. Hello, but I said
me too.
Listen, honey. Okay. And I didn't even eat the cereal back then. Okay.
Yeah.
I couldn't appreciate it.
Her net worth is currently over $100 million. Yeah.
And that's net. Damn. 100
And
million.
he got them gold diggers on him too.
Right. And see those are the kind of people that need to step up and say, well, you know what? Well, why don't I start the Jenner transgender scholarship fund for athletes?
Yes.
And see and that there. Because see, if we're going to even the playing field, because going back to Haji's point about the scholarship money, because that there is where this is the unfair advantage, and I have to that's where he got a point, is that if you got transgender children on the sports team or whatever, most of the scouts are not coming to look for the transgender sports star.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So they may overlook your school because even though they may have excelled, they may not want to take on the controversy. They may not, this and the other. But if they're in this particular sport and they're the best ones on the team, then then the other girls will get overshadowed because now they won't never see me because now you won't even come over to scout me out at all.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it becomes unfair because this being all new in this arena. You know what I'm saying? But the high school level, I'm not agreeing with two children.
Yeah, me neither.
On the high school level because of the hormonal composition.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Even if the very few of them that do, when they're on the high school level, they're not mentally ready to do that shit because you go through some crazy shit when you on that third because you can be walking down the street and somebody to drop a paper towel and bitch you start crying.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah, because you're messing also not just with the physical chemistry, you're messing with the brain chemistry.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
And it
exactly.
could cause different things. There have been situations like actually the hormones, they call them moans sometimes, actually drove people crazy.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing, because see, a lot of that when they drove them crazy is because they did that back alley shit.
Hello.
Okay, a lot of that was back alley.
They went to Miss Kelly and Philly and got their
and got their work done or whatever and things of that nature. So it was eating them up. It wasn't medically supervised properly, and the blood work wasn't done to make sure that their levels were together. All of that, it just wasn't. So a lot of that stuff
on the realm of telling people, because she told you I went through one of them back alley places and now I'm suffering for it now.
Who said that?
I have a question.
Yeah.
I have a question.
I hope I got an
answer. Do y'all remember the girl who went into the McDonald's? Well, the transgender went to McDonald's and used the woman's restroom and got beat down?
Yeah.
I knew the girl. I knew who beat her down, and I knew the person who spoke out against it.
Wow.
Why did he beat her down?
So now at my clinic, what they do at my clinic? They don't have male bathroom, female bathroom. They have a half woman and a half man.
Well, because they make it unisex.
Yeah, unisex.
And the whole thing of it is, that whole bathroom argument is ridiculous. Folks just want to have something to talk about because they don't agree with the life of trans people, particularly trans women. Okay. And I keep stressing that because there is no heterosexual man on the face of the planet that's going to sit down there and comfortably look over on the urinal to see if the man next beside you is using his dick or not. Okay. So trans brothers could go into the men's restroom. I don't care how pretty he looks. As soon as they got beard and mustache and they look like men, ain't no straight man gonna make sure that you got a penis when you go pee.
Okay, hold on.
That's true. I agree with that one. I agree with that.
Go to the next comment
agree.
Haji made.
What Haji made?
Mm-hmm.
Wait a minute, because I got a whole bunch of comments that's coming up here.
It's the one after I put the scholarship.
I got it. Another issue about high school transgender girls in sports is how do we know that girl isn't pulling a bosom buddy hustle?
Okay, now let me address that. Let me address that. Remember, when you do any of these sports, you have to take a physical. That is part of any of these sports. So that if that is the case, it has to be discussed. If it is found out at that point you are male or female, okay, why are you dealing with this in this way? If in the end, after the doctor has determined, okay, you on some bosom buddy stuff, then of course that's an issue that will be addressed at that time.
Wait a minute, hold up. I'm not going to accept that motherfucking argument. The fuck is you talking about some bosom buddy shit on some bullshit? See, this is the part of the argument that pisses me off.
Okay.
Because see, to talk about some bosom buddy bullshit mean that you're trying to come up in here under false pretenses because you're just trying to be around girls. You just want to sit in there and get into the girls' locker room so that you can look at the titties and the ass and all that. That's bullshit.
Right. And I think another thing he's probably trying to get at is, okay, let's just say the boy can't get no scholarship doing the boy sport, so he's trying to get one doing the female.
So now we're gonna sit down there. So that's Joanna Man was a motherfucking adult. Right. You talking about kids that's gonna sit down here and you got to go home to your mama and your daddy, whoever
and fill out the damn permission slip and all of that. Exactly.
Whoever pushing you into this sport. Okay, now you gonna sit down there and embarrass your entire family because you trying to get a scholarship? That doesn't even make motherfucking sense. That you gonna bosom buddy this, and then you gonna embarrass your father who wants you to play this goddamn game in the beginning. So you couldn't cut it as a boy. So you gonna sit down there in high school and live a double life in high school so that you can play on the girls' team. Right. What teenager got enough sense that's gonna do that? Right. Number one, and number two, if they crafty enough to do that, who in the hell is going to support that? Because ain't no coach supported that bullshit yet.
Nor should they, because you basically throw
your. But I think they would do that in secret, though. They wouldn't nobody know that they was pulling a fast one on you. They doing all
somebody would know that. Somebody would know.
Because that bitch will have somebody to talk.
Right.
Somebody even to say something.
Even in the program was a buddy shop. When you the girl found out and she kept it hush hush so that the other girls didn't know.
Right, and then remember, you go into your locker room with your fellow teammates and whatnot. All of them gonna keep it a secret too.
Yeah, I mean,
well, look.
That seems very far-fetched.
Where there's a will, there's a way. That's all I'm saying.
But look at Joanna Man.
Joanna Man, but see, that came up, but we're looking at that, but we're talking about an adult who was sitting up there who got crafty because he got kicked off a team because of his antics. But he
but you got to remember, we're talking about the kid. We're talking about teenage minds. Teenage minds think like that sometimes. They have distorted thinking to get what they want.
But the problem with a teenage mind is that it is never a thought out process.
Exactly, like the Justin Smollett thing.
Right. Somewhere it fucked up. Right. So that's my point. How are we going to get that all the way down because you trying to play sports because somebody in your family pushed you and said you need to play.
Yeah, I
so
find
all
that
that scholarship
hard
stuff,
to believe that a high school teenager, no matter how brilliant they might be, would come up with something that would be that elaborate to have to pull off in order to get something done to that effect.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. So yeah, okay. Now wait a minute, because okay. No, it's not. It's not when you in scholarship from anywhere. Hell, I tried to get an exchange student scholarship because of my African name.
Right.
Okay, but because of your name, because somebody told your ass that you can do it, okay, and you tried it, but you said an exchange scholarship, child, because of your damn name. It didn't say that you tried to put on a motherfucking dress of bosom buddy your way through.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
And here's the other thing. When you go to read the information, you found a loophole. You understand? You found a loophole. And at that particular time, I'm sure that you were an adult. You didn't do this shit in no goddamn high school or whatever. No. I'm sure that you were more of a grown-up to where you said, okay, let's look at this and find out how I can do this. Because somebody done told you, oh, they giving this, well, you got that old funny name, try it.
Right.
You know, and then what you say, I got funded to AIU because of my African name. Okay, so now you became the token. You done found a scholarship where you can sit down there and be the black so-and-so. And so and you took advantage of it. Boom.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Boom. But you had enough sense to think it through. A lot of these kids, I'm on the high school level. Them high school kids, they crafty, yes, but a lot of times that program, particularly trying to play the bosom buddy card, is not going to do that.
But see,
remember, what you're saying is that, but remember, my friend, you are the exception, not the rule. The vast majority of people have no idea what that entails whatsoever.
But see, it's a big difference from knowing that there's a loophole and you're trying to create a loophole. There are two different things.
Oh, everything done in the dark eventually gonna come to light.
Right.
Exactly. You know what I mean? So that's true.
A lot of people are trying to create these loopholes, and you're going about it the wrong way. You need to use a loophole that has been in standard practice for years. Honey. You can't come up with this ABC bullshit and think it's going to work.
Okay, right.
Red.
Okay.
That takes decades.
Red, what you eating?
What?
What you eating?
Well,
he said what you eat.
I'm glad you answered me.
Red, I ain't asked you that, but is there any peanut butter in there?
Okay, then here y'all go.
I'm not in College Park.
Oh.
I'm not from Alabama either, but what's your point?
I was just going to say neither is Alabama.
Conversation get too X-rated, I gotta go.
Girl,
hey,
you know,
don't talk to me about peanut butter. That's Captain Reese's up top in the corner.
Yes, okay. Watch out now. Okay. You know how I am, honey.
But you know one thing?
Tastes great together.
Yeah, go ahead, Ezra.
But you know one thing? Everything is a movement. It takes time. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It takes time. The transgender thing is going to take some time. It's not going to be something that's going to happen overnight.
Do you think people will ever get used to that, though? Do you think?
Yes.
I think they should get used to it.
For example, some people haven't gotten used to black people, and we've been here forever. Do you think that they'll actually get used to, seeing a man in a dress or a woman
it's in your face, Barbara. It's in your face, man. Let me tell you something. I was late coming on tonight because I was celebrating with a friend for their birthday weekend or whatever. Matter of fact, we started out with dinner because Meech was there. He came to the dinner. There was a big dinner at the restaurant.
I seen you, bro. You were sharp. You sugar sharp.
So here's the thing. We leave there. We go to another gathering. Now, this is one of those heterosexual testosterone ray joints, right?
Oh, Lord.
Okay?
Right.
So I'm sitting at a high top table, just minding my business. And the guy that I know walks over to me. He said, "You see Shorty right there? The next, there was another high top, like a little ways away from me." And I turn around. I look. I'm like, "Oh, okay, yeah." He said, "I'm finna holler at that. I'm gonna nab that before I leave here." I said, "What, you in love with all the Beyonce braids?" Because the person had braids all the way down to their thighs, right? Micro braids, whatever y'all call them, women. All right. And I was like, well, I said, well, let me see your smoke, player. You know what I'm saying? Let me see how you get out. I said, you know what I'm saying? I ain't been out in a while. I really don't go out like that. So I'll sit back, minding my business. He goes off. I guess he's going to do the assessment, you know, walk the room and keep looking so you know how to come in. Well, before he could come in, Miss Beyonce braids turned around.
Don't say it. Don't say it.
Hey, do you have a lighter?
I knew you was gonna say it.
You know what? To answer your question further, Barbara, they're going to get used to this transgender thing.
You know what I'm saying?
It's not something that just happened.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to tell you. That person was in that party and was comfortable in the environment, and it wasn't their element.
And also the transgender thing, it didn't happen overnight. This was going on for a while now. This is not something that just happened a couple months ago. People are going to get used to it. It's the new norm. It's the new norm. It's not nothing really big. Where me and mom live at, there's transgender people everywhere. Everywhere you go, on the bus, movies, clinic, anywhere you go.
I don't think it's.
It's just.
I don't think it's going to be totally 100% acceptable by everybody. Period. We just got to keep it real. But with that, you're going to have people that's not going to agree with it no matter fucking what.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay, but there's going to be some displacement. What do we learn tonight, Meech? What do we learn tonight? But country music just got their first out of the closet.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
they just got their first out of the closet.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, maybe it's just been publicly. You know what I mean?
That part.
But that's what it is.
What was my statement, Meech, at dinner? I said, well, hell, Brokeback Mountain came out years ago.
Right. But here, let's go here. Let's go here because I want to make sure that we understand this, because the word that you use that you're using is that will the world get used to it?
Right.
Okay. Yeah, they'll get used to it, but they won't accept it.
Right.
They won't accept it 100%. Right. Okay. They'll get used to it because it gives them something to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Do you think that's why they have to put every man in Hollywood in a dress?
No, that's because they don't put every man in Hollywood in a dress.
But you know what? And you know, Miss Barbara, the sad thing about that is, the downside to that is they have a lot of transgendered actors and things of that nature. But the sad part is they won't give them that role. They'll get a heterosexual white woman to play a
trans woman.
Right, exactly.
Right.
Yes.
Okay. Because listen, I'm telling you, I'm living for 911 Lone Star.
Oh my God, I did not know that was a trans man until the last episode. And somebody had to tell me. I would not have known that was not born. I'm sorry, you know what I'm trying to say. I would not have known.
Get together, Barbara. Get together.
Yeah.
I'm sure. I don't want to offend nobody. You know what I mean? I don't want to be offensive.
He was not born male.
Pronouns messed up.
Right. He was not born male. He's trans man. He's a man, but wasn't born male. Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
That's like the one who came out. I can't think of his name. The young guy. Well, I'll say guy now, who's an actor and came out as a trans male, but he still has a whole lot of feminine softness to him. You know the white guy I'm talking about?
Which one?
It's about Ellen. I believe that was her male name.
That one. Ellen something. Yeah. He actually came out as a trans.
And now he's Elliot, right?
He still looks very soft. Right. He still looks.
No, go ahead.
He still looks very soft, and just like I was telling Miss Barbara, like when she was talking about the guy on the show, honey, listen to me. If you don't never remember nothing else Miss Helena say, always remember, honey, what you see and always what you do.
But I do understand what you guys were saying, because when they did tell me that was a trans man, I saw how the chest and the arms and the back had gotten broader. Like the breast was gone, but you could still see that the muscle, I don't know if that's a six pack, I don't know what to call it. But you know, you could see that it was broader.
You call it that because when they work out, yeah.
Yeah.
When they work out, yeah, you come.
And that's from the testosterone, though, right?
There's also a thing, you got testosterone boosting you chemically, but also if you work out the right way, you can body sculpt yourself into masculinity.
Right.
That's true.
I've watched these trainers do that.
I was just going to say that. Let's look at female bodybuilders. Because a lot of time when they get real, they don't. A lot of those girls not on TV like that.
No.
You know, but you know they train and they build and carry on. You know,
and they also when they get so muscular, they stop having periods.
Right, but see, you got to realize if you now I follow bodybuilding, male and female, of course. You know, I follow the male anyway. But
so all I gotta do is start lifting weights.
If you go back to bodybuilding when women started, and you had champions like Carla Dunlap. They were defined. They wasn't overly muscular like these.
Right.
Today. They were defined. You know, they had that night. They were tight, but now you got so many.
They were tight and still feminine. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Now you got so many women so damn big, their damn titties that turned into a chest.
Right. Yeah. It's just a nipple now.
Yeah.
Right. A chest with big nipples.
Y'all remember Miss Presnell?
Remember who?
Miss Presnell.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
Nancy Presnell, yeah.
Miss Presnell, high school journalism teacher. Yeah,
you remember her, Barbara?
Yeah. I would just thought she was a lesbian, though.
No, she's a competitive bodybuilder.
Miss Barbara, be quiet.
Yeah.
Oh no, no, she had a boyfriend. She
had a husband.
Yeah, that's right.
She does, by the way. Shout out to Miss Presnell. She is part of the network. We mean this respect.
Well, then don't wait. I didn't mean that. I'm 50 now. I don't remember.
No, I said that, but no, I thought because we all thought that she was. But no, she was bodybuilding then because Miss Story was when they were sister girls, because they kind of favored each other.
Right.
Yeah.
And Miss Story was choreographing her poses and stuff. Yeah.
Man, look, I used to go to Gold's Gym. You know, you had this thing when you go in there, you could get a trainer and you pay extra money than the trainer on certain days. And I was in there working out, and also I seen that this one young lady, very attractive, was coming in the same day as I was coming in there. And I watched her develop. I was in there trying to fight that prednisone problem I had. Right. You know what I'm saying? But here it is. I watched her develop, and as I watched her develop, she got just ridiculously masculine. I think she was taking something because it was just too quick, too fast. Okay. And she always talked to me, and we were walking back to the car one day, and when she grabbed my hand one day and said, "When are we going to stop having these conversations in the parking lot and go somewhere?"
Oh, God.
And when she said it, I looked at her arms, and I was scared. nigga, I was scared. I was like, I didn't know whether to be flattered or call the police, bro, because I was like,
oh, you gonna run that way?
I'm so done.
Red. Were you afraid she was trying to kidnap you?
I thought she was gonna take it. She was working on power and strength. I was just working on cutting and losing weight.
You know what, goddamn it?
I was fucked up in the game, bro. I was around here like, oh my God, like, I know I can't call you because she might beat me. I don't know what the fuck.
You know what?
So you gonna roll over in bed and feel muscles and think they're yours, but they really hurt.
Right.
Right, man.
You roll over at night, touch her, you be like, nigga.
Right.
Okay. I am done. I'm done. But we're gonna end on that note, children.
Oh my Lord.
we are going to end on that note. Honey, this has been a wonderful, wonderful conversation. And I'm glad that we got everybody to come up in here to give points of views. We've even had moments to where we were all in agreement on a few things, you know.
Yeah.
And that's what this discussion is about. You know, I said what I said Sundays, honey. Come up in here and hold your point, honey. And don't be afraid to be challenged. Just make sure you go make some damn sense.
Make some sense.
And then when we make sense, child, we get to hear it, but like, oh, you know what? Ooh. Okay, well, wait a minute. Girl, you tripping, but okay. We could do all that.
Right.
And still learn how to do it in love and respect and care. That's the nature of this show. Y'all know I always say all the time. As long as you have breath on this side of creation, you have a voice that deserves to be heard. Now that there's what I'm gonna give you. Now whether or not we agree, that's a whole separate issue. But your voice deserves to be heard.
Me,
okay.
This is your show. I'm co-host on here with you. I just want to make sure that I don't know if I left anybody out. Elena, Eric, everybody, thank you for all your condolences and everything about my son, and I appreciate anything and everything that you said and did. Love y'all.
Well, you stay in my prayers. You and your family stay in my prayers.
I appreciate it.
Is this wide enough, or do I need to go out wider to give you a cyber hug?
Right. I'm a big nigga. Hold on.
Right. I'm giving you one too.
Okay. Well, darling, the love that we share here, honey, let the circle be unbroken, honey.
I hope.
Okay.
You know it.
Woody woo! Okay.
Woo! Peace out.
That look kind of funny. You know, that look kind of funny, me doing my hands like this.
That's all right, honey.
That's because you and Meech got a dove.
Yes, honey.
Okay. Doves, canaries, as long as it's bird, honey, I'm good.
Right. And I'm a pure dove. Helena's a pure dove. Derek is just a fucking dove. Take off the B and the E and put on the G. Okay, anyway.
Okay.
All jokes aside, Red, me gusto, bro. Me gusto.
Okay. So with that being said, honey, everyone who stayed with us, honey, you may finish all of your crumpets, my darling, because the tea has been dished, and you've been dishing tea, darlings. With Big Meech and Aunt Nikki, she was here for a second, and the big guy ally, Big Red, and to all of our contributors, honey, we got your boy Derek with the Helena twist up there. We got okay, Eric Buckner over there, the COO of the Nighthawk Network, honey. I got my
voices, our people.
Okay, I got my new nephew down there. That's old Israel coming up in here, honey. Let us have it. And then Miss Barbara G, honey, had to go, and she done came up in here, honey, shaking it up like she always did. I love debating with her. Damn, I'm surprised that she wasn't on the debate team with us in school. She should have been. She really should have been.
Some people are just fans.
But you know, a lot of people don't realize debating team is a lot more difficult than what the fuck people think it is.
Oh, child, trust me, honey, trust truly. But we're the city champions 2 years consecutively. Thank you.
Listen to this. I was on a debate team, and guess what? I never lost. Not one battle. Never lost, not one battle.
You heard that?
They were angry at me.
I was on the
debate. Never.
I was on the
They was ready to fight. Okay.
Transformation.
Okay.
My debate team was when I transformed from Derek to Helena.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
The process.
And then you have it. The process.
The process.
Ooh. Y'all got to hear we made a song. Okay.
The process.
You are a wonderful mom, whether you are Derek or Helena. All right, mom?
Okay. Well, how about that?
I'm the same bitch, honey.
Okay.
All right.
You in timeout, Derek.
Okay. Well, darling, let's let the good people go on home. I'm going to sit up here and give me a little bit of bite to eat because what I want to eat ain't here no more. So.
Wait a minute. Can we go off the ad and have a little after conversation thing like we did the other
yeah,
time?
we're just stay back. Okay.
We didn't finish.
I know what you want. I know what you want. Listen, we gonna let y'all go, honey. So on that note,
no hamburgers for you.
Whoo, and child. Scene.